We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Doug Brown. Colts wideout Michael Pittman Jr. is out for Sunday's game against the Bills with a back injury that he's been fighting all season long. New Commanders corner Marshawn Lattimore is out for Sunday against the Steelers with a sore hamstring. Running back Brian Robinson Jr. also has a hamstring issue. His status still unclear. A big day for SEC football tomorrow in Baton Rouge. Number 15 LSU hosts 11th ranked Alabama. It's at 7:30 Eastern on ESPN Radio and ABC. Here's ESPN's Heather Dinich.
The loser of this game immediately falls out of the college football playoff conversation. The loss is even more damaging for LSU if that happens, because earlier this season they lost to USC, which is now a 5-loss team.
Heather Dinich. The Yankees pick up the option for next year to keep manager Aaron Boone. In 7 years on the job, Boone's Yankees have made the playoffs 6 times with 3 division titles, and they just made their first World Series appearance in 15 years.
Hey, it's your resident Super Bowl champ, Chris Kennedy, coming up Monday. A huge weekend in the NFL, plus elimination game between Bama and LSU. And I'll recap it all in my Upon Further Review at 7 a.m. Eastern. It's Unsportsmanlike, weekday mornings at 6, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio.
Let's ride! Go!
And off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. It's AFR presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar. I'm Matt.
Love you, Matt.
Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
And Mr. Toby Tomplate. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. Phil Steele in 15 minutes. Theriot next hour. We'll pick games. We got a lot to do. Let's get going.
It's time to pop the top on another edition of AFR with Bud Light. Drink easy.
All right, y'all. LSU-Alabama. Saturday night, Tiger Stadium. We are almost there. You know who I'm picking in this game. I'm not trying to do the end of the show at the beginning of the show. What, are you freaking kidding me? I've been sitting here running my mouth for 10 friggin' months. I've been running my mouth for 10 months about Alabama. I've been putting flames on this screen. I've been playing 0-4 tuna. I won 0-4 tuna, by the way. I've been playing 0-4 tuna. Every time any bit of misfortune whatsoever happens to Alabama, I have absolutely done a victory lap and tap danced on their grave. I intentionally mispronounce the name of their stadium. I make fun of their entire fan base, which is actually a lot of fun to do and really easy to do anyway. I mean, every bit of misfortune. A player enters the transfer portal. Cue the music. They lose a commit. Cue the music. Kalen DeBoer wears a shirt that's too small. Cue the music. Celebrating every iota of misfortune that has come that program's way over the past 10 months. And they deserve it. And they got much more misfortune coming. But boy, would it be so sweet if on Saturday night, LSU hangs the third L. It's LSU that gets to do the honors. I mean, I got to sit there and watch them blow a 28-point lead on their home field to Georgia, only to be rescued, and everybody thought it was going to be great. And a week later, they had the worst loss in the history of their program to Vanderbilt. And then I got to watch them lose to Tennessee. And I got to watch Kalen DeBoer stumble and fumble and bumble his way through a near miss against South Carolina, where the end of the first half was comically bad because he's not actually a very good game day coach. Y'all, I'm going to tell you it again. I'm going to tell you it again. I'm going to tell you it again and again and again and again. Saturday night, they're going to run out of that tunnel in the southeast corner of Tiger Stadium. And there's going to be dudes in crimson jerseys with crimson helmets with white numbers on the side. And the band's going to play Yay Alabama, and there's going to be a dude in an elephant costume, and they're going to yell Roll Tide and all that nonsense. But that ain't the team that's been your bugaboo for the last 17 years. Because the greatest coach ever ain't there no more. All those first-rounders ain't there no more. That defense doesn't have Dallas Turner. They don't have Kool-Aid McKinstry. They don't have Trey Amos. They don't have Caden, the hell's his last name? I don't even know.
Caleb Downs. Caleb Downs.
Downs. It don't even matter. He's playing for Ohio State now. Senior starting center, Seth McLaughlin, who all y'all made fun of. Oh, he can't snap the football. Oh, really? You don't want a fifth-year senior starter at center? You'd rather have the kid from Washington, Brailsford, who got dump trucked by Michigan when they only played an actual real team. You got a quarterback who can't decide if he's going to be a passer or a runner, and a coach that doesn't know what he wants to do with him either. Y'all. I'll say it again. I'm not telling you Alabama's terrible. I'm not telling you they're going to be terrible. I've never said that. What I've told you is they ain't dominant no more. They're not the team anymore that you felt like you had to be perfect to have a chance to beat them. That's what it was for 17 years, man, with Nick there. It ain't that no more. It's not Brian Kelly against Nick Saban. It's Kalen DeBoer. Garrett Nussmeier and Joe Sloan aren't matching wits against Nick Saban's defense. It's Kane Womack's defense without all those NFL players. It is a dramatically different reality. You ain't got Ruggs and Waddle and Devontae Smith and all them dudes. Friggin' four-headed monster on the outside. You got one really good player. Young kid, but really good. And a kid came in from Washington is pretty good too. And then crickets. They got an offensive line that ain't great. They got a quarterback who's inaccurate. I'm telling you. The days of being spooked by the uniform need to be over. The days of giving them the benefit of the doubt because of the uniform, those days are over. Because it ain't the same. And it never will be again. You get this game on your field at night with an opportunity to keep your playoff hopes alive with extra time to prepare. Oh, you better show up in a big way on Saturday night and go take care of your business on your home field. You better go do that. That ain't Tua. That ain't Bryce Young. You beat Alabama 2 years ago on that field when they had Bryce Young, who became the number one pick in the draft. A Heisman winner. You mean to tell me Jalen Milroe skipping balls in the dirt is more daunting than Bryce Young coming in here? Come on. Go take care of your business tomorrow. We've got a lot to do. A lot to talk about with respect to the game. Show Open Every Day is brought to you by Bud Light. Drink easy with the great taste of Bud Light, the official beer of AFR, the official beer of the LSU Tigers. By the way, tonight, if you're looking to get the weekend started, Paris County Line, official sponsor, is Bud Light. PCL will be over at Walk-Ons, original Walk-Ons right there on Burbank from 6 to 8 p.m. Tomorrow, remember, right outside the PMAC, the Bud Light Fan Zone. Make sure you have plenty of ice-cold Bud Light at your tailgate. Wherever you may be, grab the purple aluminum bottles, aluminum cans, and drink easy with the great taste of Bud Light, the official beer of AFR. Two things Brian Kelly talked about on his Thursday press conference. There were two obvious things LSU coming out of the Texas A&M game have to fix. Your ability to stop the running quarterback, you got to be better in the special teams game, especially in the place kicking game. Let's start with special teams. Here was Brian Kelly asked what kind of work they did this week on the field goal unit after the 3 mishaps against A&M.
We looked at everything from communication to the operation, who was operating, how we were operating, all of those things, and examined it closely and went back to work. And we've had a really good week, and our expectations are that we're going to be back to the consistent operations that we've had in the past.
Look, the week before you played Texas A&M, Damian Ramos was the SEC Special Teams Player of the Week. He nailed 4 field goals at Arkansas. He's been really good. He had a bad day. I'm with it. It hasn't like it's been a 50-50 proposition. It's been really good, and then the A&M thing was really bad. Get back to being what you are. And then, of course, stopping a running quarterback, that's, to me, the key of the game. If you let Jalen Milroe go run for 155 and 4 touchdowns, you're going to lose. If you play defense the way that you have for most of this season, if you play defensively the way you did against Taylor Green and Jaquindon Jackson, the way you did when you had that time to prepare for Connor Wegman, you execute Blake Baker's scheme, I think they're going to be just fine. Brian Kelly talked about really the secondary's role and how they may help with some of these run fits stopping Jalen Milroe.
You know, when the play breaks down or Milroe gets outside the pocket, you got to lock on, right? There are no zones anymore. You got to find a guy that's in your area and you got to lock down. But I think it starts with a disciplined pass rush. It starts with lanes. It starts with contain. And so I think it starts up front and it works its way back. So all these levels of defense, defensive line, linebackers, everybody, all 11 have to be part of this. And where we broke down last year was in lanes, in pass rush lanes. We worked really hard on that, and as well as making sure that we don't lose anybody on the back end.
You can focus on what Jalen Milroe did to LSU a year ago. You can focus what Jalen Milroe did in the first half against Georgia. Or you can look and say, how did South Florida hold him to 2 yards on 12 carries? How did Vanderbilt limit Jalen Milroe to 10 yards on 7 carries? How did South Carolina hold Jalen Milroe to 18 rushes for 36 yards? How did Tennessee limit Jalen Milroe to 11 rushing yards on 14 attempts? Lots of teams have done it. Don't let him beat you with his legs, and you're going to win this football game. And you keep your playoff hopes alive. We'll talk plenty about it as we move throughout the show today. We're glad to have you aboard with us here. Theriot is going to be here next hour. It's After Further Review. We're brought to you by our friends over at Optimize, GeneratorPeople.com, GeneratorPeople.com. Got a text from a buddy earlier today. Said, hey, man, don't you endorse one of those Generac places? What's the name of it? It's Optimize. Go to GeneratorPeople.com. They're our state's #1 Generac dealer. It is simple. Turnkey installation. They take care of everything. They handle all the permits. They deal with your power company, everything. Turnkey installation. Number 2, the price quote guarantee. The price they quote you, that's the price you pay. Never any fees, never any surprises. The price they quote is the price you pay. And then they have the low down payment for as low as $600, a $600 down payment. You can work your financing however you want so you stay in control of your finances and your budget. It's Optimize. GeneratorPeople.com, GeneratorPeople.com. Okay, y'all, it's After Further Review. Tailgate segment in about 30 minutes from right now. When we come back, a couple of segments with Phil Steele. Of course, a giant weekend across college football. We will get Phil's thoughts on Georgia, Ole Miss, LSU-Bama, and all the biggest games across the college football landscape. That's next on AFR.
AFR.
Y'all, we're heading into the weekend, and I know for a lot of business owners as we head toward the new year, sometimes it's budget season. You're thinking about hiring and what maybe your personnel will look like in 2025. Let me recommend Glow Resources. If you've had trouble finding the right people, Glow Resources can help. If you've had trouble finding people who are on time, who are qualified, both the physical qualifications and the certifications needed to do the jobs that you have. Maybe it's skilled blue-collar labor, or maybe you're looking for any type of office job, all the way up to C-level management. Glow Resources can help. They have a network all across the country and the world that they can tap into to find the right people for your job. That's why they have a 96% success rate. I mean, you're talking about a company that places thousands of people in jobs every single year, and they have a 96% success rate. You want to be more efficient, you need Glow Resources. Check them out online, glowresources.com.
The only thing scary about the deals at Bayou Ford is if you miss out on them, like $15,000 off F-150. Bayou Ford has $15,000 off Ford F-150. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a complimentary 7-year powertrain warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
The best kept secret.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar.
Football Friday here on AFR. Biggest game of the year. LSU-Alabama. It just wouldn't be a Football Friday without Phil Steele. Good enough to join us now to preview the biggest games. We will, of course, get to LSU-Alabama. Phil, how are you?
You know, I am doing great, Matt. How about you?
I'm doing awesome. Coming off the open date for LSU and Alabama. It's the one that everybody looks forward to around here all year long. And, of course, whenever there's something on the line. And that is certainly the case for both these teams. So we'll get to LSU-Bama. But let's start at the big, not the big noon, Phil, the big 12-17 kickoff. Let's go with that on Fox. Purdue,
that's about right.
Purdue is at Ohio State. Buckeyes, big win. Maybe a letdown spot. They're a massive favorite. I'm assuming, Phil, that Ohio State continues to roll here. But what are you expecting out of the Buckeyes after the big win last week at Penn State?
I'm going to call for them to win this game outright. How about that?
Smart guy.
Yeah, I think when you look at Ohio State, they came out of the game against Penn State strong. They're looking to finish the season strong, and they've just got a great shot winning the Big Ten. All they have to do is run the table here. And when you look at Purdue, they have just been a basket case all year. I mean, they're giving up 5.1 yards on the ground, 65% completions. They have run the ball well at times, but when they don't run the ball, they really get blown out, and that might be the case here. And getting uneven quarterback play. Hudson Card, in the first game of the season, hit 24 of his first 25 passes. But since then, he's been about a 50% QB. So if you're going to play the game, and I don't like laying this many points, but if you are going to play the game, I would take Ohio State.
What about over in Atlanta where Georgia Tech's going to host undefeated Miami? And Phil, they're creeping up on it. 3 games to go. Miami looking to finish off an undefeated regular season. They are an 11-point road favorite here, but Ramblin' Wreck at times has played well this year. Maybe a sneaky spot for Miami on the road at 11 a.m. Central?
Yeah, especially if Haynes King is close to 100% and plays for Georgia Tech. I think that's the key. When you look at Brent Key, phenomenal when he plays ACC-ranked teams. He's 5-1 ATS against ACC-ranked teams, but even more strong, 5-1 straight up in those games, all his double-digit dogs. And the one loss was at Louisville, a game where Georgia Tech really should have won the game. They had an 18-14 first down edge, gave up two defensive scores in the game, and played extremely well. But without Haynes King, you wonder a little bit about that offense. You know, Zach Byron started the last game. They even went to Aaron Philo late in the game against Virginia Tech. Philo may even get the call here, so we'll see what happens with the Georgia Tech offense. If you're going to play the game, I would play Georgia Tech, but I feel more confident if I knew Haynes King was going to start for GT and be close to 100%.
You know, it's interesting, Phil. On Thursday, Florida Athletic Director Scott Strickland gave the big vote of confidence to Billy Napier, said that he'll be back as the Gators head coach. Probably getting ahead of what they're expecting. You lose to Georgia, and now it's Texas, it's LSU, it's Ole Miss, then at Florida State. The gauntlet is coming for Florida, and it's probably going to get worse. They are a 21.5-point road dog at Texas, and I don't even know if we know what's going to happen at quarterback with DJ Lagway. What are your thoughts here, Phil, on the Gators heading to Austin?
Yeah, and the funny thing, Matt, in today's era of football, I heard a couple analysts say, well, it's Billy Napier's fault for having a better third-string quarterback. Who the hell keeps their third-string quarterback in today's NIL? They're all out the door, for crying out loud. It's not Napier's fault. But, you know, the thing with Aiden Warner is he's a Yale transfer, so you assume he played a lot at Yale, right? He has 0 pass attempts at Yale. And he comes in here as a walk-on. His first game's against Georgia. And frankly, Matt, you were watching the game. I felt if Lagway stayed healthy, Florida might have beat Georgia in that game.
It would have been certainly interesting down to the wire. Yeah, I mean, they were playing well. Georgia plays with their food, don't they? They got some flaws.
They do. And we'll talk about that later, I'm sure.
Sure.
But when you look at this matchup, if I knew we had a healthy Lagway, the way Florida's been playing, I would say they stay with Texas. But if it is Aiden Warner on the road against a Texas team that just dominated their first 5 opponents, I'm staying away from this one completely. But, yeah, you got to think Texas has the potential for a blowout if it turns out to be Aiden Warner.
Well, you know, you said we'll talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's get into that Georgia game against Ole Miss. Georgia's on the road in Oxford, and this is a Georgia team at 5-1 in the conference. Ole Miss trying to keep its faint playoff hopes alive. They got to run the table. Georgia's just a very slight 2.5-point road favorite here. Some people may be surprised by the number, or some people thinking Ole Miss might be able to pull the outright upset. Where do you fall here, Phil?
Yeah, and most of the numbers indicate Mississippi probably should be favored in the game. But when you look at Georgia, it depends what they've got. You hit it right on the head. They play with their food. I mean, you go look at the Texas game, the Mississippi State game, they only won by 10. The Auburn game, they only won by 18. The Kentucky game, they left them in it the entire game. But when they're motivated, and I'm sure Kirby Smart will completely convince his team that they are underdogs this week and that everybody in the country is picking Ole Miss. And if that's the case, they're going to come out with their hair on fire. I mean, look at the Texas game. They went in there and had a 23-0 edge at the half, 170 to 38 yards. They went into the locker room trailing Alabama 30-7. Next thing you know, they're leading the game in the fourth quarter. And Clemson, they, of course, annihilated in the second half. I think we're going to see Georgia's A game. You won't see Carson Beck throwing interceptions. And Ole Miss we saw the LSU-Arkansas game. Arkansas is just not the same Arkansas they were at the start of the year. A lot of open receivers running free. You're not going to see that here. I like Georgia to go on the road and get the win here. This will be one of their A games.
Phil Steele's with us. Make sure you go take that Phil Steele Plus tour over at philsteele.com. Let's jump into the Big Ten at that 2:30 Central Time window. This is the CBS game. Indiana, they just keep chugging along, Phil. Now here comes Michigan, 5-4 overall, just 3-3 in the Big Ten. What a letdown season after their national championship, and now you get to be a 2-touchdown underdog in Bloomington. Indiana, do they keep it rolling against the defending champs?
I'm not hopping off this train,
I know
Matt.
you are. Just keep cashing tickets.
That's right. When you play on a streak, you can win many times and you lose only once. But I tell you what, I do like this game. You know, if you put the Michigan uniform on the Indiana players and the Indiana uniform on the Michigan players, Indiana's probably a 21, 24, 28-point favorite in this game.
Okay.
Because they've just been dominating opponents on a game-to-game basis. I look at what my computer got. My computer has it 37-14, and I agree with that.
Wow.
Michigan's offense has struggled all year. They're averaging 34 yards below what their opponent allows. Indiana's allowing 261 yards per game. Indiana can hurt you running the football. They got Ellison, Lawton, Black, and Green. They got Curtis Rourke, a pinpoint passer. This guy's hitting 73% with a 19-3 ratio. He's deadly on third down. They're at home. They're fired up. You got to keep riding this Indiana streak. I'm really anticipating that Indiana against Ohio State game 2 weeks from now.
That's going to be a lot of fun. Phil likes Indiana big. A team that fell from the ranks of the unbeatens last week is Iowa State. Now they got to go on the road to Lawrence to take on the Jayhawks, 2-6 this season for Kansas. Big letdown after last year. But Iowa State, 3-point road favorite here. Do they bounce back and keep their Big 12 hopes alive?
And I think the casual fan thinks Kansas is a poor team because they're 2-6, right? But they led Illinois in the fourth quarter. They led UNLV in the fourth quarter. They led West Virginia by 2 scores in the fourth quarter. They led Arizona State with a couple of seconds to go, and they took Kansas State to the wire. So they're one of the best 2-6 teams out there. They've got Jalen Daniels, but this game's at Arrowhead Stadium. And Iowa State will probably have the crowd edge for this. I mean, let's face it, Kansas fans came in thinking we can win the Big 12 title. Now you're 2-6. Iowa State fans, off a rare loss, I think you're going to see them play well. I think Iowa State is the best team in the Big 12 this year. They're off a loss, and I do think they get it done. And I do think the spread's a little cheap at 3, especially with the fact Iowa State may actually have the crowd edge for this one.
Clemson had its 6-game win streak snapped in, I guess, kind of embarrassing fashion last week against Louisville. Now they got to go on the road to Blacksburg to take on the Hokies. Clemson is a 6-point road favorite, trying to keep its ACC hopes alive and playoff hopes alive. Of course, if they win the ACC. Can Clemson do it, going on the road there to Blacksburg?
Not an easy test. I like Virginia Tech. And, last week Virginia Tech really impressed me. No Kyron Jones at quarterback, no Brashel Tootin at running back, and yet you're watching the game, and Virginia Tech pretty much had that thing locked up. It was a miracle comeback by Syracuse at the end to take it to overtime and end up beating them. But you wonder about the status of Jones and Tootin. Will they be 100% here? It is Enter Sandman. It's in Blacksburg. That's a tough place to play. But I'm going to lean with Clemson to come out of there with the win.
And let me ask you about Army here. We'll get to the night window as well. But Army's undefeated. They're 8-0. One of the great stories in college football now. They're ranked 25th. They're on the road in Denton to take on North Texas. The Mean Green are 5-3. Army just a 4-point road favorite there against North Texas. Does Army move to 9-0?
I give them a good shot at doing it. The thing I like best in this game, Matt, is I like the total. Okay. Go back to 2021. Army played Wake Forest. I don't know if you remember that game, but it was 70-56. And every time Army got the ball, they scored. Every time Wake got the ball, they scored. Wasn't that a fun game?
If you had the over.
Yeah, I did have the over. It's my top
I bet you had a lot of fun.
I think this might be similar. Why? We've got strength against weakness. I mean, North Texas has trouble stopping the run. They allow 5.4 yards per carry on the ground, and Army, of course, runs the ball well. Now, Bryson Daly may even miss the game for Army. I'm not concerned. Backup quarterback will do well. Last week they only had 255 yards, but that was against Air Force. Air Force knows how to defend the option. They have players that know how to simulate the option, and that's why the Service Academy games always go under. Prior to that, Army had over 450 yards in over every single game and top 40 points the previous 4 games. I think they score almost every time they have the ball. But on the flip side of the coin, Army hasn't really taken on any quarterbacks this year. The 2 best passing offenses, the only 2 they took that were in the upper half of the NCAA rankings, were UAB and East Carolina. And both those teams were starting a quarterback for just the second week. Now they're taking on Chandler Morris. And Army has struggled against the pass for years, and now it's the best quarterback they've taken on all year. I think North Texas can score on anybody. So you got, I think both teams go into the 40s here. I like over 63 in this one. And if they announce Daly's not playing, the number may even come down a little.
Okay. Phil Steele's with us. Make sure you go take that Phil Steele Plus tour. We got another segment to get to. We'll get to the night games. And, of course, LSU-Alabama night game in Death Valley. We'll do it as we roll along with Phil Steele here on a Football Friday edition of AFR.
AFR.
Brought to you by Clegg's Nursery, 4 locations in the greater Baton Rouge area, Siegen near Airline, LA 16 in Denham, Mid-City on Donmore, and the Garden Center on Greenwell Springs. Of course, you know that one in Denham. There's not another garden center within a 5-mile radius of that Clegg's in Denham. So if you're in Livingston Parish, you know where to go right there to Clegg's Nursery. Y'all, LSU and Bama, it's a night game, which means you wake up on Saturday, you got some time before those 11 a.m. kickoffs, get to Clegg's, buy those flowers, those beautiful fall bedding plants and flowers. You want to add that pop of color to your flower beds, to your patio pots. There's just nowhere better to go. Clegg's has been serving the greater Baton Rouge area for more than 60 years. Their people are friendly. They're knowledgeable. You walk in, you're not sure what to get. Just ask one of the people in the blue shirt, the Clegg's shirts. Super friendly, and they've got the greatest selection. Maybe you want some of that fall decor. They still got your pumpkins and your squash and your gourds and your hay bales and all that stuff to decorate your front patio maybe as we get closer to Thanksgiving. Buy local, shop local. Tell them Matt sent you to Clegg's Nursery.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram can get you in a new 2024 Ram 1500 truck for only $32,898. $32,898 for a new Ram 1500 truck. All new Bayou Automotive vehicles come with a complimentary 7-year powertrain warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood Subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar.
We continue with Phil Steele. Get him on Twitter X at PhilSteele042. Go to philsteele.com, STEELE, philsteele.com. Take that Phil Steele Plus tour. Phil, we'll get to the night games. A couple more in the afternoon window, though. Colorado, how about Coach Prime, man? Bowl eligible at 6-2. But don't look now, they're 4-1 in the Big 12. They still have a shot of winning the Big 12 and being a playoff team, but they got to go to Lubbock and beat Texas Tech. The Buffaloes are a 4-point favorite. You like Coach Prime here?
I think it's going to be a great game to watch. I couldn't go against Colorado, especially. I think they're a different team ever since that Hail Mary pass against Baylor. Since then, they've played great, both sides of the football. And you look at Texas Tech; they're always tough. That's a weird place to play, Lubbock. And Texas Tech's been doing extremely well at home throughout the year. So I think it's going to be a great game. Are you leaning with Colorado in this one, Matt?
I am. I love Coach Prime. I think they got the better quarterback too.
There you go. So let's go with Colorado. What the heck?
I love it. Let's jump into the SEC. We want to talk about two teams playing well. How about South Carolina and Vanderbilt? Vanderbilt's bowl eligible. South Carolina can get there with a win. But, of course, the old field storm fade. The big win last week against Texas A&M. Fans rush on the field. Now you got to go on the road. This is a letdown spot playing in a construction zone in Nashville. What do you think? South Carolina, Vandy. South Carolina, 4.5-point favorite. Phil, why do the odds makers hate Vanderbilt?
And I tell you what, the statement you made there, Matt, Vanderbilt is bowl eligible, and South Carolina is trying to get there. Would you have said that?
No.
That would be the case at the start of the year?
Absolutely not.
But I do think when you look at South Carolina, had Lenore Sellers stayed healthy against LSU, I think they would have had a great chance of winning that game. And if that's the case, they lost to Bama by 2. this is one of the better teams in the SEC in South Carolina. They'll, of course, have the crowd edge here as well. You look at last week for Vanderbilt, sort of did a little smoke and mirrors. They were minus 100 yards in the game. They got outgained by Kentucky and won the game. They showed, Missouri got outgained by 118 yards. They're minus 44 yards per game in SEC play. I love the way they're playing. They've been tremendous as a big dog, but here they're just a slight dog at 4.5. I'm going to go with South Carolina to go on the road and get the win here.
Phil, what about Tennessee? Everyone here is kind of guilty. We're talking about Georgia and Texas and LSU and Alabama and Ole Miss. Nobody's really talking about Tennessee, but there they sit at 7-1, very much controlling their destiny for the college football playoff. They're a big favorite at home over Mississippi State and Jeff Lebby and the crew. Boy, they've had trouble scoring in first halves. What do you make of Tennessee at home?
Yeah, 7 points, grand total of 1 touchdown, 1 score in the last 4 games in the first half. That is
crazy.
That is pretty rough. And the thing with Mississippi State, they're a scrappy team. They don't have much of a defense, so I think Tennessee corrects that scoring problem in the first half because Mississippi State's defense is actually allowing foes 82 yards per game above their average. That's number 124 in the NCAA. Offensively, they've been doing better since Michael Van Buren took over at QB. But the thing about Josh Heupel, and the thing you got to like if you're betting games, is Heupel likes to score in the fourth quarter. So if he gets some scores in the first half and keeps scoring in the fourth quarter, I think they can cover this game against Mississippi State, even with Georgia on deck.
What about Notre Dame at home against Florida State? Boy, this is one that we would have billed as a big one before the season. Right now, you've got 7-1 against 1-8. Notre Dame's a 26.5-point favorite. Keep waiting, Phil, for Florida State to do something, anything. And we did watch Notre Dame, of course, lose earlier this year to Northern Illinois. So any threat here at all to the Irish?
FSU's got a bunch of players that were paid to come here, a bunch of transfers. They came in expecting to be like last year where they were undefeated. And now you got a team that is 1-8 on the year and going nowhere. Their offense is doing nothing. Mm-hmm. They're averaging 90 yards below what their opponents allow. I mean, North Carolina had a poor defense coming in. They were allowing 385 yards per game, and the Florida State got 201 on them, just 10 first downs. Now they're taking on one of the best defenses in the country, one that holds opponents 114 below their average. If they do that against Florida State gets 120 yards here. So I think Notre Dame's got the possibility of a shutout, and I like that late in the game because then the defense continues playing in the fourth quarter if they have a shot at the shutout. I also like the way Riley Leonard's playing. He started out not throwing touchdown passes. Now he's throwing them. I like Notre Dame. They're off a bye. Florida State just played 4 games. They're going on the road, and really there's nothing to play for the rest of the year.
What about Oklahoma going to Missouri as a 3-point favorite? Missouri obviously has the big quarterback question there with Brady Cook, but this is an interesting one where you have an unranked team ranked over a ranked team. That's usually an auto play for me, Phil. So which way do you lean with Oklahoma and Missouri?
Yeah, I'm in that same boat, and to me this is one of your strength of schedule plays of the year. Who plays the toughest schedule in the SEC this year?
I would have said Florida unless if you're leaning Oklahoma there.
Oklahoma.
Okay,
yeah.
wow.
As far as Florida's right up there, but Florida's overall schedule is even tougher, whereas Oklahoma had a softer non-conference.
Got it.
But just based on the games, Oklahoma and Florida are right there. And who plays the easiest SEC schedule this year?
Missouri.
Well,
I know
Missouri.
that answer, yep.
Yeah, and who have they beaten this year? Well, they beat Auburn by 4, and they beat Vanderbilt. 2 games they could have lost, Boston College, Buffalo, Murray State. You talked on a quarterback, the quarterback situation. And I actually like the way Oklahoma's offense is starting to come along. Go back to that Ole Miss game. They had 235 yards at the half against Ole Miss. So I'm going to go with Oklahoma to I was going to say pull the upset, but as you mentioned, Vegas is there for a reason. They've got them favored.
Sometimes they just know. Phil Steele for a couple of more minutes. We'll get to LSU and Bama in just a sec. A few more to check off first. Penn State, disappointing home loss to Ohio State, but again, they still have everything in front of them. They're ranked 6th. They're 7-1. They got Washington. Phil, you and I, we talked about this cross-country travel for teams and how tough it's been for the Big Ten crossing multiple time zones. Now here's Washington going all the way across the country to Happy Valley, and the Nittany Lions are a 2-touchdown favorite. You like the bounce-back spot here for Penn State?
Yeah, Washington's your poster child for that, aren't
right.
they? I mean, they played 4 games away from home this year. They've lost all 4. They've played 5 games at home. They've won all 5, so they're really a good team. I mean, they're holding opponents to 99 yards per game below their season average, number 9 in the country. Penn State's holding opponents to 106 yards per game, number 6 below their average, number 6 in the country. So you have 2 really good defenses. Probably maybe lean with the under in this one as far as Penn State normally has a little letdown after they lose to Ohio State, but whiteout conditions, they'll be fired up. Washington doesn't play well on the road, so I can make a case for Penn State. I also think Washington's a dangerous team, so I'm going to go with under in this one.
Holy war in Salt Lake City. Utah is 4-4, not having the season they wanted, but here come the rival BYU Cougars, undefeated, ranked 9th in the country. Phil, you tell me all the time about going to play at Rice-Eccles and how tough that is for teams. So what about for BYU taking their undefeated record on the road to Salt Lake? BYU, a 3.5-point road favorite at Utah. Are the Utes a live dog?
Yeah, and Matt, I had this one pegged in the magazine coming into the season. I said one of these 2 teams will be competing for the Big 12 title, potentially unbeaten. The other one will be towards the bottom of the Big 12. I had that correct, right?
You reversed it?
Yeah, it's
Wow.
reversed, right? I had Utah at the top, and they haven't played that way. But believe it or not, this is the first game all season Utah's been an underdog. So, they've been battling as a favorite, and they actually have the number 1 defense in the Big 12. And here's another surprising stat. In Big 12 play, Utah is plus 34 yards per game. Meanwhile, BYU is plus 3 yards per game, even though they're unbeaten. So I think it's a dangerous Utah team. At home, rivalry game. Utah's won 9 of the last 10 meetings. And so I'm going to lean with Utah plus the points in this one and potentially pull the upset.
Wow. Utah's been a favorite in every game this year? That is a little stunning for a team that's 4-4.
Yes.
Phil, one other one before we get to LSU-Bama. I think even I'm guilty of this. We have you on every week and we talk. I don't know that you and I have talked about Washington State at all, but they're 7-1. I don't know how you feel about it, Phil, but is there a path for 11-1 Washington State to the playoff? I don't know. They host Utah State this week. They're nearly a 3-touchdown favorite. Give me your sense of this game and Washington, what it looks like moving forward for the Cougs.
Yeah, if they count the Pac-2 as a conference, they'd have a shot, but I think a big wall in front of them is the fact that they played Boise State and they lost to Boise State by 21 points in the one game. So I think that hurts them a little bit. Strength of schedule is going to be tough. I think even 11-1 Washington State would clearly get bypassed by a 2-loss SEC team, maybe even a 3-loss SEC team. So
Okay.
I don't really see Washington State making the playoff this year. Now, this one should be a fun one because of Utah State. Utah State is a team that, in their last, they have a poor record, right? They've only won 2 games all year. But in their last 6 games, they have had over 250 yards offense in the first half. Go back to the Boise State game. They had 337 yards in the first half at Boise State on the blue turf. So they can put points on the board. And, of course, what do you want to do if you put points on the board? You bring in an Iowa quarterback, right, Spencer Petras, because we know Iowa's been such a potent offense the last couple of years. Anyway, he's hitting 66% with a 13-7 ratio. But John Mateer, the quarterback for Washington State, dangerous runner, dangerous passer, he's going to love this Utah State defense, which has given up 5.8 yards a carry, 67% completions, and they're number 130 in the country, allowing opponents 120 above their average. So high-scoring game. I think Utah State can sneak in the back door here with the spread so high.
Okay. All right, Phil, one more to go, and it's the big one here in Baton Rouge. Of course, it's LSU-Bama. You and I have been doing this, I don't know, a decade or longer, but we have the chance to talk about this game every year, and every year takes on a different dynamic, so to speak. And one of these teams is going to take their 3rd loss and, for all intents and purposes, be eliminated from the playoff. Night game, Tiger Stadium, LSU-Alabama tied, depending on where you shop around, a field goal favorite. How do you see it going in Baton Rouge?
Yeah, I'm a little surprised Bama's a 3-point favorite in the game, Matt, just for the fact that, I do think they're a slightly better team. I do like the fact they have a mobile quarterback in Jalen Milroe that's a very dangerous runner. We've seen LSU struggle against Sellers with South Carolina, against A&M in the second half. But that 13-0 at home at night for Brian Kelly, that's scary. 15-0, I believe, overall for LSU. And they are a really good team. They got Garrett Nussmeier, and you cannot underestimate that home crowd. So I would say this. If you're an LSU fan, go ahead and get that 3 right now before it starts coming down. I believe that number will come under 3 by the end of the week.
Interesting. LSU and Bama, a 6:30 kickoff in Baton Rouge Saturday night. See how it all goes. In the meantime, of course, make sure you check out that Phil Steele Plus Tour, STEELE, philsteele.com. Phil, you want to remind people about that Phil Steele Plus Tour?
Yeah, it's up and available right now. Just go to philsteele.com, click on right on the front there. It's a Phil Steele Plus Tour with selections, takes you to the YouTube channel. And last week the selections went 8-2, so it was a pretty good week. 14-5 the last 2 weeks. And it's all absolutely free. Just go click on it, take the tour, get complete reasoning behind all the plays, and it's available right now for free.
He is Phil Steele with us every single Friday here during the football season, philsteele.com. Phil, we appreciate you as always. Enjoy the weekend. We'll look forward to next week.
Sounds great, Matt. You have a great weekend as well, my friend.
That is Phil Steele. This is After Further Review, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar. We'll wrap up hour number 1 next.
AFR.
AFR is brought to you by Darren James and Associates, brokered by LPT Realty. If you are thinking about selling your home, guess what? We're into November. I tell you every year. November, the number 1 home selling month in our market every year. It's common to think it would be in the springtime, end of the school year. You want to move before the summer, the next school year starts for the kids. This is actually the time when people sell their homes the most because you want to be in the new home for the holidays. You want to be in the new home for the new year. So if you are thinking about selling your home, beat the rush. Interest rates have ticked down. Buyers are coming back into the market. Take advantage of these conditions right now and call Darren James. Here's Darren's cell, 335-7666. Of course, 225-335-7666, 335-7666. Call him or text him. Text him. Say, Darren, I want to sell my home. Just go and tell me this is your cell. Or agent225.com. Agent225.com for Darren James.
Think real estate, think Darren James.
The only thing scary about the deals at Bayou Ford is if you miss out on them, like $15,000 off F-150. Bayou Ford has $15,000 off Ford F-150. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a complimentary 7-year powertrain warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
It's no secret, the best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, located in downtown Baton Rouge.
It's an everyday thing here. We work horses in the mornings and we work on the property during the day, and without these John Deere tractors, you know, it'd almost be impossible to keep up with the place. I've dealt with some of the other colors and stuff, and I never really got the response back that I get from John Deere, you know. We really enjoy dealing with Sunshine. They're good people. They always check on us and make sure our equipment's running, and we love them. Flip the switch and learn more about what it means to be powered by Sunshine at sunequip.com.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
At Relief Windows, we're more than windows. We're windows, doors, hardy plank, and vinyl siding. But our #1 product is always customer satisfaction. Visit us online.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar. At LSU, we play hard, but we tailgate harder. Light your burner, fire up the grill. It's time for our Football Friday tailgate recipe of the week with Chris's Specialty Foods. 4 locations, or go to chrisspecialtyfoods.com.
All right, wrapping up hour number 1. Theriot will be here in 11 minutes. Coben's back in studio with us. LSU-Bama. Oh, man, we might be dodging some raindrops tomorrow, man.
Yes,
that stinks. Might put a little damper on tailgates. How are you, dude?
Good. I'm glad to be here, Matt.
Yeah, man. Excited. Is this like a no-shave November thing with the stash? What are we doing there?
Yeah, just switching it up a little, seeing how it's going.
You know what's so interesting? Like, when I was your age,
Yeah.
but like, it's funny how things are cyclical because of, like, I would have laughed at a guy with a mustache, but like mustaches are coming back.
They
Like
are.
like Tom Selleck had a mustache. Like it was Tom Selleck and I feel like Steve Harvey, who still has a mustache. It's just lasted through the generations as it's evolved. Anyway, but yours looks great.
Thank you.
I think it's a fantastic mustache. All right, so we can't eat elephants, can we? I asked
No.
Tressie if we could put like an elephant on a rotisserie.
Yeah.
So what do you do when you're playing Alabama?
No elephant this week. So we've talked about it on the show before. The famous lobster roll over at the Highland location.
Let's go.
I think we're one of the only stores in the state of Louisiana that does a Maine lobster roll on a regular basis. So today I brought a hot lobster roll and a cold lobster roll for you to try. Wanted you to get your take on it. We're doing a little debate today.
All right.
See which one you like better. Then we got a...
Look at this idiot. hey, by the way, Theriot just walked in. He flashed us with his shirt. Hey, we're eating lobster rolls in here.
We brought you lobster rolls, Theriot.
Is that what all of the parish budget is going to now every month? Yes. That's what this is going to? Because you eat a lobster roll at Chris's every day? That's right.
So we got the lobster roll, and then we have some bacon wrapped shrimp, Louisiana shrimp, and then we have some ribeye poppers that are shaved ribeye with cream cheese, fresh bell peppers wrapped in bacon.
Okay, let's take these one at a time. If someone's interested in a little tailgate food, is a lobster roll something that you can make out at a tailgate?
Yeah. So we can over at the Highland store, we can prepare the lobster to where it's already ready to go. You just have to heat it up, so we can put it in boil bags for you with chefs. The chef at Highland, Chef Carey, great chef.
Awesome.
He can do it already in a butter sauce, ready to go. So there's no cooking for you. You can just tell him how much lobster you want, and he can have it ready, and you just pick it up out the butter, and it's ready to serve.
You got a little Texas toast right there, so you just slop. There's your lobster roll, and then walk me through the ribeye poppers. How do you make a ribeye popper?
Yeah, so on the ribeye, like I said, we always have extra trimmings on the ribeyes that we don't want to go to waste. So all the extra we shave down, we brown on each side, and then we melt some cream cheese, throw in a fresh bell pepper, wrap it in bacon, throw it in the oven. It's not long at all. Throw it in there about 8 to 10 minutes. Once your ribeye browns down, it's ready to go.
And you got bacon wrapped shrimp. I think a lot of people know how to do bacon wrapped shrimp around here. You just take shrimp, you wrap it in bacon, you cook it. You grill those, you bake those?
Grilled those. You can do either though.
Yeah. My wife likes bacon wrapped shrimp on the grill, man. That's she loves it. What kind of seasoning you use on that?
So we have our house-made Chris's seasoning. You can buy it at all 4 locations. We pretty much put it on every product in the store.
chrisspecialtyfoods.com, or I should say chrisspecialtyfoods.com. So it's back-to-back S's, chrisspecialtyfoods.com. All right, I'll try these, but also tell people, because I'm assuming now y'all are cranking up Thanksgiving orders.
Oh yeah, it's starting to get crazy.
And deer processing too,
yes,
right?
We're already taking orders. We've been getting a ton in. The last day we're taking orders is the Friday before Thanksgiving week.
Okay.
So call in any of the 4 locations. We have your birds, your sides, turkey gravies, anything you could use. We have to make your Thanksgiving go easier.
That's really cool. I see you can create your own bundles, so you can have whatever. Look, if you go to chrisspecialtyfoods.com, top right there's a Thanksgiving tab, and you can see how you can create whatever you want. It's turkeys, turduckens, stuffed turkeys,
smoked fried,
all the
anything
sorts
you want.
Yeah, for sure. Awesome. chrisspecialtyfoods.com, 4 locations. All right, so let's do this. What am I? Walk me through this. What are we doing?
All right, so let's start with the cold.
What's this?
Yes.
What's on it?
So it's lobster. This the cold is in a mayo and fresh vegetable sauce. Very good. So let's start with the cold.
All right. Someone may need to. So should I go to the middle or the side?
Just go right there.
All right, here we go.
Dive in there. Yeah. There you go.
Which is more popular?
I like the hot better, and I think the hot sells a little bit better.
That's really good. I love the mayo. I'm a mayo guy.
Yeah.
If you don't like mayo, you're probably not going to like that.
And
it's
that
not too heavy on
it's
mayo.
It's light. Yeah, it's super light. Yeah.
There's chives on there?
Yeah.
That has a great accent, too. What else is in there?
That's going to be the
good,
the fresh vegetables in there with the mayo.
That's really freaking
So now
good.
we'll do hot.
I feel like in Louisiana, people would probably go hot.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Would cold be more like a main thing?
Yes. Yep.
So this is the Louisiana
yes,
taste.
up north they
on.
do more cold.
Got it. This is the Louisiana take on the
and that's
lobster
just
roll.
chef's butter sauce, lemon herb butter sauce with fresh lobster.
Bro.
Yeah, man.
I'm gonna shock the world.
Yes.
I like the cold one better.
Really?
I do.
Wow, that's a hot take.
I love the chives. I love the mayo sauce on it.
It's super light. Super light.
It is super light. There's a little more going on, man.
Yeah.
It attacks the senses. The flavor attacks the senses. Oh, we got 15 seconds. Moose is making me go to break. She got me over here eating lobster rolls.
Team cold.
Really, put me a little check mark in the cold. All right. Coben, Chris's Specialty Foods, we appreciate it, man. I got 3 seconds. We got to go.
Thank you, Matt.
ChrisSpecialtyFoods.com.
AFR.
Brought to you by Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. Energy-efficient replacement windows, beautiful entry doors, hardy plank vinyl siding. Oh, yeah. They do shutters as well over at Relief Windows. You know, I love telling you about Relief Windows because when you're talking about windows, there's a lot of places where you can go to buy a window or a door, siding, things like that. You're talking about commodities. Well, the Relief Windows, what differentiates them and what has for 20 years now is their service. Like Brandon Holly always says it. Yes, they do windows, door, siding, shutters, but their number one product is customer service. And it's not lip service. He means that. Brandon's told me for years. He goes, we strive to make everyone thrilled. He said, but I actually kind of like when someone complains because that's when we get to show them who we really are. Because when someone has any type of complaint or is dissatisfied, how you answer that speaks volumes about how they're going to refer you. That's why Relief Windows is the best and has been in the Gulf South for 20 years. ReliefWindows.com. Windows, doors, siding, and shutters. ReliefWindows.com.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink, or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs, even in the case of an after-hours emergency. The light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Doug Brown. Eagles coach Nick Sirianni says quarterback Jalen Hurts was limited in practice earlier this week with an ankle injury, but that all signs are pointing toward Hurts playing against the Cowboys on Sunday. College football tomorrow, number 11 Alabama at 15th ranked LSU. ESPN's Greg McElroy.
I think Garrett Nussmeier might throw an interception or two, and I think Alabama's rushing attack is what ultimately tips the scales in their favor. I think it's going to be awesome. I just think LSU's offense is a bit one-dimensional. I think Bama's a little bit more well-balanced team on both sides of the ball.
Greg McElroy on Always College Football. Alabama and LSU, 7:30 Eastern tomorrow on ESPN Radio and ABC. Florida basketball coach Todd Golden is now the subject of a Title IX investigation after allegations of sexual harassment and stalking. On NASCAR's championship weekend, a federal judge denies a motion brought by Front Row Motorsports and Michael Jordan's 2311 Racing to recognize them as charter teams. Those teams will appeal.
Hey, it's your resident Super Bowl champ, Chris Candy, coming up Monday. A huge weekend in the NFL, plus elimination game between Bama and LSU. And I'll recap it all in my Upon Further Review at 7 a.m. Eastern. It's Unsportsmanlike, weekday mornings at 6, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio.
Let's ride!
It's that Louisiana boy, yeah, they call him the Riot. Born and raised in the swamps, on the fight like a tiger. He going beast mode, baby, he a beast though. What you think he supposed to do? You pitch a better reload. Yeah, the boy.
After further review, the Riot Radio Hour with Matt Moscona and Ryan Theriot, presented by Alpha Customs. Alpha Customs, Prairieville and Lafayette, and online at alphacustoms.net.
Well, how's your week going?
Week was good.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, but good. I'm full of good ideas.
Here comes Theriot. The throw. Not in time. Scudero delivers and the Giants lead 4-3 in the 10th.
The wave pool, although probably full of bacteria, flesh-eating parasites, and the occasional turd, provides endless hours of fun. It's not cool to have a 30A sticker on the back of your grocery go-getter. Big fan of the truck.
The Riot Radio Hour.
Hour 2, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us, AFR, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar. I'm Matt. Hey, shut up, kid. Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
Yes, sir. And Theriot. We're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Fired up?
Couldn't be more fired up.
I was about to say, you better bring the energy. It's LSU Bama. This is the culmination of Bama is burning. This is our seminal moment. 2 hours heading into the weekend. Yep. I need the energy today. I need it full force, full throttle.
This
Scared
whole thing,
money don't make money.
No, this whole thing started for me 2 days ago
when you showed up. No, it was yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a long 2 days.
Yep, that was yesterday morning.
You showed up.
Yep.
And you handed me some tickets.
I did.
And I gave you a big hug.
You did.
Because I'm not like the fired up to go to the game guy.
Yep.
But I got to be there for this one. It's like during the election. I stayed up to make sure they didn't cheat. I got to go to this game to make sure that they don't cheat, that Bama doesn't cheat. So I'm in. I'm fired up.
What were you actually gonna do? Now, you know what? I don't even care.
Yeah.
So not only tickets.
Got tickets. Got a parking pass. Dude, you came through, man. I appreciate it.
Did you think I wouldn't?
No, I thought you would.
I mean,
But I got a little.
I'm your guy.
I got a little nervous, and I didn't want to keep asking, and it was just kind of like, man, I've asked a couple times, and I was just gonna let it go, like if it didn't happen, because I had a backup plan.
What was your backup plan? Will you go buy tickets?
Well, yeah, I would have done that.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to throw him under the bus. But I have another guy that was well connected and I actually met with him yesterday, and he didn't say a word about the tickets.
And he didn't come through.
And I didn't bring it up, but he didn't come through.
And who came through?
You did, bro.
Who came through?
Thank you.
Your boy came through.
You came through big time. Good seats too.
As if there was ever a doubt. You know what I mean? So how's your week?
Good week.
All that stuff. Yeah.
Good week. Good week.
Yeah,
the time changes got me all messed up.
Oh, the time.
The first couple days didn't bother me a whole lot, but man, it's got me a little.
Yeah.
I'm back on the NyQuil to fall asleep, to make me stay asleep, and I don't want to wake up early. But I'm up, man. I'm up. I'm ready to go. Pisses everybody off. Dogs get up. Johnny gets pissed. But it's a big week. It's Bama week.
You have trouble falling asleep?
Never.
No. Staying asleep?
It depends if I'm on my sugar thing. If I eat a lot of sweets and sugar before I go to bed, yeah, I'm up all night, just waking up.
Don't do that.
No, I know.
It's a bad idea.
No, it is.
Yeah. Okay.
But it's a big week, as you said. It's a
big week.
It's a weekend that we look forward to.
The biggest.
All year. And the letter's kind of centered around that. So
let's go.
So dear, this one. Actually, I have a couple different letters. I don't know why I've been doing this lately, but I have.
What?
Dear Bama fans who only are Bama fans because Saban made them a winning program. So, oddly enough, I haven't seen very many Bama stickers on the back of cars with Louisiana license plates this year.
Surprising.
We've had a bit of a change.
Yeah.
Not going to say it.
Front runners.
Ever since Saban decided to call it quits, the fake Bama fans who grew up in the shadows of Tiger Stadium,
looking at you,
but claim they've always loved Alabama football, have seemed to disappear.
Yeah, you know who you are.
Where you guys went, but you know exactly who the hell you are.
Mm-hmm.
You'd wear the shirts and the hats claiming to love Alabama football. But now that they suck and Coach Saban no longer calls the shots, you want to come back home crying to mommy. You expect us to take you in with open arms.
Not interested.
Guess what? You can kick freaking rocks. Not happening. Don't you dare put on the purple and gold. You're not welcome on the bus any longer, nerd.
Nerd.
You're not invited to the party. Stay your butt at home and take this ass whipping like a man. Dear Nick Saban.
So this is a different letter?
Dear Nick Saban.
Got it, okay.
I've noticed the comments since you retired hinting towards your love for LSU.
Mm-hmm.
You referenced Tiger Stadium multiple times as being the best college football venue. You've listed the LSU teams as your favorite that you've ever coached. You've even said that players from LSU were the favorite ones that you've ever coached also. Now, you're going to come down to game day tomorrow, and you're going to pander to that crowd.
Yeah, he is.
You went over to Coach Kim Mulkey's team, and you gave him a motivational speech today.
Love that.
You talked about your time here.
Love it. I love him so much.
You've been our most hated opponent for over a decade, Nick.
There he is. Look at him.
I don't care if you left to coach the Washington Redskins or the Sherwood Middle Falcons. You left us. You left us high and dry. And you ended up at a school in the same division that we're in. You built a powerhouse. You busted our tails on your way to national title after national title. Sure, we won a few.
Yeah.
But that's only because of our ridiculous talent pool and awesome fan base. The truth is, we had two coaches here while you were at Bama that could hardly spell their names. One was worse at answering questions and staying on topic than Kamala Harris. The other was more interested in running the lakes with his shirt off than coaching football. And we still won. Imagine if you wouldn't have walked out on us, Nick. But you did. So I hope every drunk fraternity guy, sorority girl, and whoever else is going to game day tomorrow, I hope all of you guys give him hell. Do not let him forget that he walked out on us. Nick, beat it. To all the people...
Is this another letter? Oh, this is letter number 3.
To all the people that have
started with dear.
Dear, all the people that have had their panties in a wad because the strong leaders of our great state have assisted in bringing a live tiger to be presented on the field prior to kickoff. All of you
Join
guys
me in my chant, you bums!
can kick rocks.
Omar! Let's go! It's the energy we need.
I've seen it.
We need big cat energy this weekend.
Let's go.
Omar the Tiger. Come on, Omar.
Let's go. I've got a lot of great memories.
Oh, I found out where they're keeping Omar.
Oh, yeah.
I know where they're keeping him.
Okay. Baton Rouge Zoo.
Nope. Not the zoo. I can't say it on air, though.
He's staying in Tiger Land. See what I did there? You like that? I know you liked it. I've got a bunch of great memories of Tiger Stadium as a kid, Matt. A lot. Tailgating, going in.
Yeah, me too.
The sights,
on the
the
old front
smells,
nine.
the sounds. I remember it very vividly. One of those is Mike roaring and the crowd going nuts.
Yeah.
Seen a bunch of folks saying there are better ways to use our resources to help the state. You're telling me,
kick rocks, nerds!
Clowns, you're telling me that making a couple phone calls to get a tiger to ride around Baton Rouge is going to overwhelm resources in the state capital? Shut up.
Well,
Pick something else to cry about, nerds.
It probably did cost money to bring the tiger here.
Who cares? You know how rich this state is?
We're not rich at all, actually.
Oh,
No, we ain't.
Well,
let me say this.
They got money coming, bud.
Let me say this. We waste a lot of money in this state. Like,
okay, so
like
it costs
bringing a tiger in.
So it costs a couple grand. Okay? I'll pay for the damn thing. Who cares? It's the dumbest thing I've ever heard of. We're wasting state resources. Y'all could do something better with that money. Shut the hell up. Go to the game and buy another beer.
You're worried about getting a tiger here.
If you think a couple grand is gonna fix the roads, I got some news for you, bud. It's gonna take a lot more than that. Stupidest thing I've ever done. Just like the crap I just witnessed during this election. You guys grow up, all of y'all, and you know who you are. Sincerely, Ryan.
Right. That's the energy I like. That big cat. He brought that big cat energy. Give me a little bit here. I love that big cat
Overwhelming our resources. Shut the hell up.
The best is
so.
You don't have anything better to do? Worry about getting a tiger here?
They're so dumb. My God.
I mean, you don't think there's just like some lackey that were like, hey, go call around and see if you can find a tiger?
Well, what are we doing? Like, who cares? It's a tiger. It costs a couple grand. Grow up.
I don't. Was it a couple
grand?
I got
a picture of my wife sitting on top of the cage cheering. This is memories. This is big.
I wish it was Mike, not Omar.
Maybe they'll be friends.
Did you see? I love the meme. I love the meme of like, you know, the guy who's like staring at the girl walking by and his girlfriend's looking at. You know what I'm talking about, those memes?
Mm-hmm.
I love this one. It's like Governor Landry's the guy, and the girlfriend is Mike the Seventh, and Omar's walking by.
Oh, that's good. Shout out to Governor Landry. Attaboy. Make it happen.
You're so stupid.
Make it happen.
All right, it's after further review.
Appreciate you.
It's after further review. We'll do Kick Rocks next.
After further review.
Hey, I bet the Tigers right now are on their way to the Renaissance Hotel.
Yep.
Bet you they are. Every Friday before every home game, LSU, the entire football program, they pack up and they take it on down to Bluebonnet. You know why? They got to get away from Tigerland. So they go to the Renaissance Hotel. Big, beautiful, sprawling hotel. Plenty of rooms to accommodate the entire football program. And then, of course, all the meeting space that they need as well. And that's really what you got to remember. If you got a meeting coming up, maybe you need a boardroom for 12 people. Maybe you need their ballroom for 500 people. a wedding reception, a fundraiser, some type of charity event, they can help you out over at the Renaissance Hotel. Allison Crump, she's the events coordinator. Call over there, ask for Allison. I love her line. She always says, we're in the business of saying yes. They'll manipulate their space to make sure that they can accommodate whatever event that you have. It's over at the Renaissance Hotel right there on Bluebonnet. Go Tigers from the Renaissance Hotel.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you. Introducing Ochsner MD Anderson Cancer Center. Long live you.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
When you can't rely on technology, you can rely on Mountain Cold Refreshment. Dave's back on. Coors Light. Choose chill.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared toward seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar.
Big field goal attempt here. Andre McClure, 11 of 13 this year. This will be a 36-yarder from the left hash. He has it right down the middle. And LSU, with 4:22 to go, leads it 17-7.
Juvenile. Is Ha the best song you've ever heard in your life?
It is one of them.
Oh, man. Just put Ha at the end of every line and put it on the album and sell and go double platinum. 400 Degrees is so good. So is Andre LaFleur.
Oh, yes.
How about a kicker wearing 23? Now that is big kick energy. We're going big cat energy. We're going big kick energy all today, man. 1993, the day that pigs flew. You remember that game?
Yeah, oh yeah.
You don't remember that game at all.
Like it was yesterday.
You don't remember that game at all. I watched that game in 1993 at Paul Gross's house on 5 Forks Drive, 50455 Forks Drive. I don't know who lives there now, but shout out to that family. I just gave out your address on the radio.
Got him.
LSU stunk. That game actually bought Curley another year. And then in 94, of course, they stunk again, and they lost to Southern Miss. I was at that game. Had the runs at that game. We had some bad rallies. I spent most of that game remember? No, not rallies. Fast track. You remember Fast Track?
I love their fries.
Fast Track drive-through is all we do. Beep, beep, boom.
Good fries at Fast Track.
It was me, my dad, my brother, and my cousin, Stephen Mumford. Shout out to Stephen. We went to that game, the four of us. Pulled into Fast Track before, went to Tiger Stadium, didn't settle well with your boy, spent most of the game.
That's unfortunate.
Making runs to the bathroom.
That's unfortunate.
Usually that's when you're like, hey, let's tap out. And especially the fact that you lost to Southern Miss, not a great, but didn't have that memory unless LSU beat Alabama in 1993, the day that pigs flew. Ended Alabama's winning streak. They won the Natty in 92, and then LSU ended their winning streak in 93. How about that?
I like that.
I love that.
I like the runs.
I know. You like the runs, do you?
I like the squirts, yeah.
Why would you say that? That's a really disappointing
It's a good cleansing thing.
No. What?
Well, I mean, it'll clean everything out. You got to do that every once in a while.
No. You could do that in a very natural way.
You could, but that's a way to do it. It's a way.
No.
Yeah, man. Get you clean. Just get it all out. I mean, it sucks going through it.
Yeah. Like there's a much better way to clean your pipes.
Yeah, but it's a sacrifice you got. If you want a quick, just a little quick
cleanse, I don't want that.
If somebody were to.
Who wants that?
I don't mind it. I mean, if I got a couple hours like downtime, I wouldn't mind it.
This is preposterous.
No, it's better than throwing up, which is another way.
But what I'm saying is neither one of these things needs to be part of your reality.
But if it is,
but it doesn't have to be.
I would rather the squirts or the runs than throwing up.
Yes, but this isn't an either or. You're saying you would prefer it if you got time. I'm like, no.
Now, the worst part about the runs
what would be better is when you have an hour, and then you could just sit and just, take your time.
Yeah. No, that's good too.
That's way better.
Or if you know it's going to be constant, you just stay there. You didn't have like internet on your phone back then, though, so it was just boom, 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 boom. Yeah.
Read a magazine. Remember people put magazines, which probably is gross in and of itself to think like you'd leave magazines in the bathroom because then you just get all these fecal coliforms. What are we talking about?
Bro, that is disgusting.
This is the worst conversation.
Do you know how many people would have had COVID if that was a thing? Magazines in 2020?
Still in the bathroom.
Yeah.
Well, think about all that's on your phone. Your phone's a cesspool.
Yeah, but
it's on every surface.
But you're not passing it to other folks that are sitting down.
But it's on your phone, and you put it here, and now it's on this surface, and it just goes surface to surface, just passing it everywhere. It's all right. It just builds up your immunity. Yeah. Just got to do. Knock that thing down. All right, it's after further review. We're glad to have you aboard with us here. We're brought to you by Shawbills Tire and Auto Service, shawbillstire.com. With locations all over South Louisiana, schedule service online, shop tires online at Shawbills Tire and Auto Service. Go to shawbillstire.com, shawbillstire.com. You need your tires rotated?
I really need my tires rotated. They are so bad. Seriously, everybody makes fun of me. I don't know. I need them rotated. I do. I don't know. I don't want it to take
every other
too
oil
long.
change, you get your tires rotated.
I need
it ain't that hard. What are you doing?
Yeah, I need to call and see how long it's going to take. I don't want it to
go online. Schedule your do the thing that I'm literally telling you to do. Schedule your service online.
All right.
Okay, 8 o'clock on Monday, whatever time. But boom,
bada boom, bada
easy.
bing.
Shawbillstire.com. Shawbills, we keep you rolling. If you don't schedule your service online, you can kick rocks.
It's time to kick rocks with Ryan Theriot.
Kick rocks.
Presented by Ruckus. Kick rocks with shoes from Ruckus. Jones Creek Road in Baton Rouge, or go to ruckus103.com.
Tom Brady can kick rocks. That's a standing kick rocks, but this one's
a perpetual kick rock.
Kick rocks.
Did you prepare?
Yeah. Okay, you can kick rocks for being a middle midget.
Kick rocks.
Costing your team 4 points.
They can kick a whole bag of rocks for that.
Get on down the road and kick rocks.
I don't know, man. Those aren't my favorite. I know you love them. Those are SPs.
No, they're Vans.
Oh, they're Vans.
They're Vans. The gum bottom from Ruckus. These things are sick.
I do like the gum bottom, but I don't like the all black.
Juan Soto can kick rocks.
Kick rocks.
He's a hell of a player, but he's on his 19th team in the last 6 years. It's coming up here soon. He's going to leave the Yankees. He's going to go to the highest bidder. He's going to stay there for a year or two, opt out of his contract, and go to the next team. He's basically LeBron James. But I mean, that's what's happening at this point in his career. That's
I really want him to stay in New York. I mean,
it would be great if he stayed in New York.
It's very rare that we've seen over the history of this era with the Yankees where they go spend big on a free agent and he actually works out in New York. More often than not, it's an A-Rod situation.
Right.
It's someone who just melts under the pressure in that city. I would love if Juan Soto would actually stay.
He's a perfect fit for New York.
He is.
He's got a cool, calm personality. He's a hell of a player. He's young. He can grow. They could retire there. He could get a plaque.
The flip side of it, look at Mike Stanton. Excuse me. Giancarlo. I mean, shows up in New York, and all of a sudden he forgets how to hit. Miami, he looks like a Hall of Famer.
He was broken in New York. He didn't forget how to hit. He's broken.
Changed his name to Giancarlo and then just forgot how to hit.
And he's broken.
You should change his name back to Mike.
He should. That's his name. Jerry Jones can kick rocks.
Kick
the
rocks.
worst owner in sports history. Cowboys stink. He needs to give it up.
I don't know, man.
Give the reins over to somebody else, Jerry. Just back off.
I don't know. They've won a lot of games there. Just can't win in the playoffs. And he spends money. Isn't that what you want from an owner? Isn't that what you want from an owner?
He's a back off, man. Just back off.
What I want from an owner is spend money and commit to winning.
He does that, but he inserts himself in too much of it. Just back off. Let the guys do what the guys do. Let them do that. And
I think it's a bad rap. He wants to win.
Maybe so. No, he does.
He spends money. He wants to win. That's what you want out of an owner. If he just wouldn't do so many interviews, that's the problem. Stay out of the. Don't do a weekly radio hit.
Yeah.
Or if you do that, do it on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and after further review.
Then it'd be okay.
That'd be great. I'd appreciate it.
We'd help him. Yeah. You'd help him. You'd help him be a better owner. GM. I want to give a hug if I can.
Okay.
This is all I got. I would like to give a hug to the Baton Rouge voters.
The who?
The Baton Rouge voters.
Oh, the
all
voters.
you guys that showed up and voted for the mayor race this last week was awesome. I want to give a hug. I saw a lot of passion and energy out there, and look forward to a runoff here in a month or so.
Okay.
That's what I want to do. And I want to give a hug to Ruckus too, because I got a lot of cool shoes right now.
I want to give a hug to you for getting me my orange and black Dunks.
And I got you some orange and black Dunks.
We talked about it last week over at Ruckus.
I did.
They dropped the orange and black Dunks. Well, let me do two things. Let me tell you to kick rocks.
Okay.
And then give you a hug.
Okay.
I want to tell you to kick rocks because we sat here literally last week when the orange and black Dunks. Can you pull this up, Holly? There's the homepage at ruckus103.com. Well, join the squad. Homepage of Ruckus 103. There's the orange and black Dunks.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been waiting for some clean-looking orange and black Dunks or Jordans or Air Force Ones, whatever, because I don't have an orange and black sneaker in my collection.
Okay.
And, of course, Calico, I want orange and black, right?
Yeah.
So those pop up. I'm fired up for it. I'm like, all right, hey, we'll go to Ruckus. I'll go get the orange and black Dunks. And you're like, yeah, okay, I'll go on Saturday morning. All right, just call me when you're ready. And you went, and you didn't call me. So you can kick rocks for going to Ruckus and not calling me. You can kick rocks for going to Ruckus and not calling me.
Kick rock.
Thank you. But
I think I called you, bro.
You didn't call me.
Let me see.
You did not call me. But you did get me my orange and black Dunks.
I did.
And for that, I'm very grateful. You brought them to the parish office this week. I went and got them, and I'm very, very excited. They're in my car right now. The Bears played yesterday. They beat Zachary. Scored 73 on Zachary last night.
Saw that. Did they just?
That?
Well, Zachary scored 55. Did they just forget to play defense?
Take that, Brewerton!
Bro, I called you Saturday. I got bad news for you.
I'm just kidding. I love Brew. You called me after you left Ruckus. Yes, you called me after you left Ruckus.
I called you after.
Yes, you did not call me before.
I know, but I did call you.
You called me after you left Ruckus, which is the point I'm making. I would have taken Drew to go meet you at Ruckus, but you went without us.
Yeah, that's right. I did do that. Mm-hmm.
I got bad news for you.
Yeah, but I did call you. I thought about you.
You did get the shoes, so it redeems
a little bit
partially you not calling me to go. I have a kick rocks. Have you seen what happened with Todd Golden?
No.
So Todd, have y'all seen this? Have you seen this, Muse? Paulie, have you seen the Todd Golden
No,
story?
I'm.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I've not seen this.
Okay. So Todd Golden is the basketball coach at the University of Florida. So he's under Title IX investigation. He's this isn't funny, but allegations of sexual harassment, stalking, and there's another one too. It's sexual exploitation. So the student newspaper in Gainesville got hold of this. There's a Title IX complaint against Todd Golden. These students who have spoke to the newspaper there, the Alligator. Listen to this. This is one of the complaints against Todd Golden. This is one of the young ladies who's filed the complaint. She tells the newspaper, at first, it starts off slow, like, oh, wow, that's odd. This guy has shown us some attention, the first woman said. Quote, and then it becomes, wow, he's kind of crossing the line. No, he didn't mean it that way. Then it's, wait, he's fully stepping over that line. And then it's, wow, there's a picture of his.
Oh.
It was full grooming process with all of us. I mean, they got all these different women that are telling these stories about Todd Golden.
Oh, this guy's done.
Like,
what a creep.
Full-on creepy stalking these co-eds.
Yeah, creepo.
I mean, I'm not going to litigate something on the radio. He'll have his opportunity to tell his side of the story, and evidence will come out and whatever, right? Legal actions. But, bro, I mean, one woman said that Golden told numerous women they were, quote, his drug or, quote, his good luck charm before games. Quote, he just had this manipulation tactic over everyone, and he sent us all the same expletive. It was copy-paste to every girl. I mean, this is like a sick dude.
Yeah, oh yeah.
I mean, wow. Anyway, Todd Golden.
Yeah, bro, you can kick rocks.
Kick rocks.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, also for doing illegal stuff. What do you think they're going to do to him in jail? Provided he goes to prison. Would you go to prison for that?
Yeah, I think so. Send him to prison.
Could you go to prison for sending a pic of your
I mean, if it's unsolicited.
Yeah. Brett Favre did it. He didn't go to jail.
Yeah, I don't.
True.
I don't
Remember
know
Jen Sturger when he was with the Jets?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if you can.
I don't know.
But I would have to think that it's probably not just that. Like, this is. I think they're going to dig into this and find some stuff. I do. Now he's in trouble.
Like, you can't blanketly say, I think they're going to dig into find. When 60 seconds ago you knew nothing about this story, I read one quote and you're like, oh, they're going to dig into this.
I'm reading it right now.
You're reading it right now. You don't know any. You haven't even read the full story.
I mean, I know what they're saying here, and I just saw a picture of him.
So the picture of him is incriminating.
Pull a picture of him up.
I know what Todd Golden looks like.
Tell me this dude ain't going in. He's going to the pen.
In the pen. Okay. I mean,
pull the picture up.
You have to. Come on. Word choice in this situation matters here, friend. Word choice matters.
Let's see a pic. Let's see Todd.
Not a picture of Todd Golden.
Oh,
you can't say let's see a pic when we're talking about him sending.
That's right. I get it. Let's see a picture of him.
There's Todd Golden. There he is.
Yeah, he's done.
He's done. Just because you saw a picture of him.
Yep. Look at this picture. You telling me he ain't done?
Oh man.
It's over.
It's
not just that, man. He's a creep. Get out of here.
It's AFR.
After further review.
Brought to you by Rouse's, the official supermarket of the New Orleans Saints. Rouse's.com. Rouse's.com. You know what Rouse's is doing?
Selling groceries. And giving away free stuff.
You can actually say that this time, and it's true.
They're giving it all away, baby. What are they giving away?
Are you ready for this?
Yep.
Okay. Rouse's is giving away Thanksgiving turkeys.
Oh, shut up.
Listen, I'm serious. You can get your Butterball Thanksgiving turkey for free at Rouse's when you buy a Hormel Cure 81 spiral sliced ham for $2.99 a pound. You get a Butterball Grade A frozen turkey up to 14 pounds for free.
And everybody gets ham and turkey for Thanksgiving.
Right. So that's right. You buy the Hormel Cure 81 spiral sliced ham, and you get a free Butterball Grade A frozen turkey for your Thanksgiving dinner.
Send in the whole family.
Limit one per customer with a $25 in-store purchase.
Didn't say one per family.
It's Rouse's.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram can get you in a new 2024 Ram 1500 truck for only $32,898. $32,898 for a new Ram 1500 truck. All new Bayou Automotive vehicles come with a complimentary 7-year powertrain warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs, even in the case of an after-hours emergency. The light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar.
4 seconds on the play clock. They just do get it snapped. Blitz coming. John Parker Wilson fumble. LSU has recovered at the 2-yard line. Curtis Taylor recovers it. Chad Jones, number 3, got in on John Parker Wilson.
Old dreadlocks of doom. What a day that was. Nick Saban's first game as the Alabama head football coach. Well, excuse me. Not his first game as a coach. First game against LSU as the Alabama head coach. And, boy, he'd have a lot of success after that one. But the Tigers got the first one, a game where our guy Matt Flynn threw 3 picks in the first half of that game. A game that probably should never have been as close as it ended up being. But Chad Jones came up with a big play there. And LSU would go on, of course, and win the national championship in 2007. So many great moments of the LSU-Bama series. There was a long stretch, obviously, starting with the national championship game on January 9th of 2012, where Alabama won 8 straight. That streak ended in 2019 emphatically. And Tigers got another one 2 years ago in Baton Rouge. Brian Kelly's first season here. And just the whole dynamic of this changes. Do you feel being around town this week? I've said this kind of all week that it feels. I've used the phrase that the psychology has changed with Nick not being there.
Mm-hmm.
It just feels very different that it's Kalen DeBoer leading Alabama, a team that we've already watched lose to Vanderbilt and Tennessee. And they struggled at home against South Carolina and struggled at home against South Florida. I mean, that was a 1-score game with 5 minutes to go against South Florida. South Florida had an opportunity to go for 2 and tie it. And, you know what it was? They could have gone for it on a 4th down. Instead, they kicked a short field goal. It was still a 1-score game. But, they had an opportunity to maybe kind of dagger them. And then Bama ended up scoring 28 points in 5 minutes, which was wild. But point being, this is a team that hasn't looked awesome. Do you feel any of that this week? Just the psychology of it without Nick?
Yeah, I mean, the psychology normally is LSU's going to have to play their absolute best.
Yes.
Alabama's going to have to do some stupid stuff in order for the Tigers to win. I mean, that's been the story for, ever since he got the ball rolling. Even in 2019 when you look over there, and this is maybe the greatest team that LSU's ever had, you still kind of felt that way. It's 100% kind of flipped. I mean, it wouldn't shock me at all if Alabama were able to pull it off. It's almost like that's – but I feel like LSU should probably win. And I haven't really said that or felt that in a while.
LSU's at home. Brian Kelly, since he's been the LSU head coach, is 13-0 in night games in Tiger Stadium, for whatever that's worth. The only game that they've lost in Baton Rouge under Kelly was that 11 a.m. game against Tennessee his first year, where it was like a Murphy's Law situation, where, I mean, everything that can go wrong would go wrong, and like the opening kickoff of the game.
I remember that game. I hated that game.
Yeah. Jack Besh muffed the opening kickoff. They scored quickly, and after that, it was just everything very quickly went wrong. And Tennessee was great that year, by the way. I mean, they were dramatically better than LSU was, especially at that point early in the season when LSU was still building. But, of course, they kept getting better and better, which has also been a hallmark of Brian Kelly's teams, which in the 2 seasons that he's been here, and now into year 3, the previous 2 seasons, it's inarguable that the team they were at the end of the season was dramatically better than the team they were at the beginning. If you go back and think about Brian Kelly's first game as the LSU coach against Florida State in the Dome, just what at times a comedy of errors that was. You muffed 2 punts on the opening drive of the season. You muffed a snap, an errant shotgun snap, took you out of an opportunity to score a touchdown. You ended up kicking a short field goal instead. I mean, that whole game was a mess. You ended up having the PAT blocked at the end that would have tied it after you improbably came back and scored there at the end to tie it. But then you think as you go through that season, man, they end up beating Alabama. They play for the SEC championship. I mean, it was kind of incredible the way that they continued to improve. And I think you've seen that especially with this LSU defense. From what they were week 1 in that first month as they were feeling their way, they've really become a very sound, very not a great or overwhelming defense, but very good defense. Now, you're going to look at what happened against, with Marcel Reed and Texas A&M. We've litigated that enough. I mean, you were crushing Connor Wegman, and there was a sudden change you weren't prepared for. And so hat tip to Mike Elko. He changed quarterbacks, and it caught LSU off their spot, and they never really recovered. But with 2 weeks to prepare for Jalen Milroe in this offense, I feel like Blake Baker's going to have a really good plan.
Yeah.
And I expect LSU's defense to play really well. I don't know that Alabama's defense is ready to keep up with LSU's offense.
Yeah, and I don't know that Alabama's offense is ready to keep up with LSU's defense taking the ball away. I mean, you're seeing an Alabama offense that has given the ball away this year, and an LSU defense has done a really good job of forcing turnovers and taking the ball away. Take the one game where it just didn't really bounce LSU's way, but there was a few fumbles, balls hit the ground. They weren't able to recover. But I think that's the one piece that I've seen a lot this year where you're getting those turnovers on defense. The one part that kind of scares me, though, is I do kind of feel like the offense has taken a bit of a step back, and it could just be you've seen some better defenses. But their inability to run the ball is a little bit kind of puzzling because you got a great offensive line. You have a home run hitter in the backfield, and then you've got a big back that can also move the pack a few yards. So that's a little puzzling, but I would hope that they can get back on track offensively.
Well, the one thing that I've said pretty consistently this week is it's inarguable LSU has struggled to run the football. That is a component of this team. They are 111th in the country in rush offense. Like when you've played 8 games, that's a large enough sample to say, okay, this is what you are. You're not very good at running the ball. What I would argue also is you have played 4 of the top 20 rush defenses in the country. Ole Miss, Texas A&M, UCLA is one of the best rush defenses in the country as well. And so when I look at Alabama, this is statistically the worst rush defense you will have faced to this point of the season. South Alabama has a better ranked, now different competition, but their rush defense has been better than Alabama's is. So it's one of those things where it's bad on bad. So Alabama is, I'm certain on Alabama talk shows today, they're sitting there saying, yeah, the run defense hasn't been great, but you should do well because LSU can't run it.
Mm-hmm.
And Garrett Dellinger's not there. We're having the inverse of that conversation, which is to say, yeah, LSU's rush offense hasn't been very good, but Alabama hadn't stopped anybody from running the ball. So this is probably one at home where you get a little something going, especially with 2 weeks to prepare. So we'll see which side of that argument actually comes to bear on Saturday night in Tiger Stadium. But I don't think LSU needs to be great running the ball. They just need to stay on schedule running the ball. The big issue they had against Texas A&M was when you'd throw on first down, it was incomplete, and you'd run on second, which is 100% the right thing.
Right.
Because you want to get yourself to third and manageable. The problem was you'd run on second down, and you get no gain, lose yards. Okay, so now you're at 3rd and 10, 3rd and 11. What you want to get into is a 3rd and 6.
Yeah, I get it.
So now you have an option, something that's convertible. LSU's one of the best. LSU's 10th in the country in converting on third downs. You know that? They have the 10th best third down conversion percentage in America. And they're number 1 in the SEC. So LSU's great at doing that. Just against Texas A&M, they got off schedule.
So that drove me crazy during that game. And first down, incomplete pass, second down, run. Every time. Is that how they always do it?
Watch football.
Okay.
99% of time, you're watching a football game, a team throws an incomplete pass on first down, you run it on second to give yourself third and manageable. I'll never forget, man, I got to sit in the LSU press box for like 5 seasons next to Alan Risher. Alan Risher is as smart a football guy as I've ever met. Alan, of course, played quarterback at LSU in the early 80s, played professionally, he coached, and I don't know if Al's listening or someone will tell him this, but I'm dead serious. Like, you and I joke about this. You played for a long time. You don't remember anything.
I really don't.
Like, you don't remember. I say, Ryan, tell me about scoring the game-winning run in the 2012 World Series. The only thing you've told me is you were DHing and it was cold, and so you sat in the clubhouse and drank coffee the whole game, and they came and got you when you're ready to hit.
With Will Clark.
That's it.
Mm-hmm.
That's about all you give me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Risher is one of those guys where I say, Al, hey man, tell me about the Auburn game in '82. I'm just throwing something out. He'll go, yeah, Risher was 18 to 22 for 217 to score. Would have been 3, but I threw an out route, and we had a 3rd and 12. We got thrown for a loss. I threw an out route around the 37-yard line. Should have been a holding call on the play on the defense. He didn't and he's just like,
hey, got it.
It's photographic on everything, and he's a very smart. And so I probably annoyed him, but I would sit there and I would listen to him talk through the game while we're watching the game. And it's one of the things I remember Al talking about all the time. And he's like 99. I mean, he from the press box, like he would call plays. Like he would look at a formation and he would say, "Oh, they're running this," and like he just knew. Like he's just mind of a coach and a quarterback, very smart. And that's one of the things I remember sticking with me forever with Al. Was like he would talk about that. Was 99% of the time it's an incomplete pass on first down. You run it on second down because you want to get to third and manageable. So even if you're thinking 2nd and 10, all right, well they're probably going to throw it to try to get something. Well, the defense doesn't want to give that up. They'll give you a 3-4 yard run. Well, 3rd and 6 is manageable because now you can run it or you can throw it, right? And it's more manageable down than 3rd and 10 or 11. The problem LSU had against A&M is every time they'd run it seemingly on 2nd and 10, they'd get no gain.
Nothing.
And so they were behind the sticks. So that's something worth keeping an eye on. But the thing is,
do you switch it up ever if it's the third quarter and you're like,
they did, man.
Why are we still doing this?
I went back and looked at it. I charted the whole thing. They did. I mean, it was what happens is when things don't work, it gets magnified. Yeah. That's what you remember. But I go back and look through my notes of the actual possession charts and things, whether they ran it or threw it on first down, when they ran it or threw it on second. Like, they tried, man. It wasn't like Sloan was just banging his head against the wall doing the same thing. A&M had a really good plan.
They have good players on that side of the ball.
And
too.
LSU struggled to get the running game going, inarguable. Texas A&M is better in their defensive front than Alabama. South Carolina is better in their defensive front than Alabama. Like, this is a game where you should get something in the running game to complement your passing offense. I'm not telling you you're going to be awesome, but you're going to get you're going to move bodies. You're going to move bodies on that defense, and you're going to get something. And this offense is going to go, and it's going to score.
Go Tigers.
We'll do Ask Ryan to wrap up hour number 2 next. Stay here.
AFR.
Brought to you by Duplessis Builders, duplessisbuilders.net. You want a pool?
Yeah, I do. I want one.
Do you have a pool at your new house?
Not at the new house.
Oh.
I need one.
Oh.
Yo necesito.
Paging Derek Duplessis. Dude, you got to call him, man.
I need to call Derek. He's going to hook me up. Mm-hmm.
Beautiful work.
Yeah.
They don't cut corners, which is a big thing.
I don't want it to leak.
You know anybody?
I want a leaky pool.
You know people who have had pool builders come to their house and the build out is a disaster.
You hear those stories. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, you want to avoid that?
I want a backyard paradise.
Then you call Duplessis Builders. They take the time to do it right. Derek's got an engineering background.
What about outdoor kitchens? I need that too.
They do outdoor kitchens.
I don't have that.
I do. It's awesome. Highly recommend. 10 out of 10. DuplessisBuilders.net. Y'all call them today. DuplessisBuilders.net.
best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
Bayou Ford has the new inventory to get you in a new Ford truck or SUV today, or customize your next vehicle just the way you want it. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile power.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar.
So Kelvin Shepard exhorting his teammates on. Down. Ball's out.
Guess who? Drake Nevis. Drake, I got you covered, Drake.
What a moment. 2010, Drake Nevis stripping Greg McElroy. Sitting in the south end zone. You can just hear the noise. Man, the vibe's incredible. Another great opportunity tomorrow in Tiger Stadium, 6:30. All right, let's get to Ask Ryan to wrap up hour number 2. You know the drill. You can ask, enjoy bow hunting deer in South Mississippi when it's 95 degrees with 100% humidity,
No,
mosquitoes on you?
I don't.
Coming up right after Sports Center.
AFR.
Brought to you by Supper Club. I was there last night. Oh, guess what?
What?
College game day tomorrow. You know who's providing the food for the, you know, they always do the big spread?
Supper Club.
Supper Club. Found out today. As a matter of fact, I went last night. So I went last night after the show, popped into Supper Club, sat at the bar solo, had a fine meal. Got to see Stanford Steve.
Okay.
Was there last night. We had
Nice.
Stanford Steve on the show, and then he popped into Supper Club.
Nice.
Brandon had a group there last night. I was told the governor was there as well last night.
Nice.
Coach P was there. Coach P was there.
Coach P was there.
Gave Coach P a big hug. Hadn't seen him. Well, actually, I saw him for the Ole Miss game.
Okay.
Yep. So Supper Club's the place to be, man.
Maybe I need to go start hanging out there.
Come with me next Thursday.
What are you doing Thursday?
We'll go after the show.
Okay.
Love it.
In.
At Supper Club. SupperClubBTR.com. SupperClubBTR.com. Get your reservations at SupperClubBTR.com.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
The only thing scary about the deals at Bayou Ford is if you miss out on them, like $15,000 off F-150. Bayou Ford has $15,000 off Ford F-150. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a complimentary 7-year powertrain warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Doug Brown with breaking news from the NFL. Cowboys quarterback Dak Prescott will go on IR with his hamstring injury. Team exec VP Stephen Jones confirmed that today on 105.3 The Fan. Prescott's season would be over if he needs surgery. Saints wideout Chris Olave is out for Sunday's game against the Falcons after his second concussion within 3 weeks. The team may put Olave on IR. College football tomorrow, 3rd-ranked Georgia at number 16 Ole Miss, 3:30 Eastern on ESPN Radio and ABC. ESPN's Heather Dinich.
Well, it's certainly an elimination game for Ole Miss. That would be their 3rd loss, and the biggest problem for them is their wins have been against Furman, Middle Tennessee, Wake Forest, Georgia Southern. Nothing that's going to compensate for a 3rd loss.
Heather Dinich, who also says a Georgia loss would probably leave the Bulldogs ranked behind the winner of the LSU-Alabama game. Pelicans guard Jordan Hawkins will be out 1 to 2 weeks with a lower back strain.
ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Commercial Insurance. It flexes to fit your business's needs. From quick repairs to adjustable coverages and even payment options, Progressive Commercial makes it easy to get what you need. Quote today in as little as 6 minutes at progressivecommercial.com.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio.
Let's ride!
Riot Radio Hour.
Let's do that again.
Guess who's back? Back again.
I want some more.
The Riot Radio Hour.
Well, let's start the insanity. Giddy up.
With Matt Moscona and Ryan Theriot.
Let me find out your wine spanks the hide your gut.
Hour 3, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. It's AFR, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar. I'm Matt.
This is Jack O'Neal, and I hate Matt.
Paul O'Neal.
They're chanting Paul O'Neal's name. As well, get out there and make it a good one. Yeah. All right, it is 5 o'clock. We're glad you're with us. 1 hour until your weekend, and of course, it is LSU-Bama. Oh, by the way, the Saints and the Falcons play. Hard to believe that we've made it through a Friday show. 2 hours, now in hour 3, and haven't even mentioned Saints-Falcons, but I guess. Kind of what we expect, right? In a week where you fire your coach, you're a seller at the trade deadline, and you don't have a whole heck of a lot to play for. But we will preview and pick Saints-Falcons coming up here in less than 15 minutes from right now. Our final preview and prediction for LSU-Bama coming up at the bottom of this hour. All right, let's pick some games. Hit it, Muse. We got to first of all look at how we did last week. Boy, it's a shame, Muse. You weren't here last week. I mean,
I was not here last week.
Theriot, two Fridays ago when I was at Taylor Swift, Theriot got saddled with an 0-10 record.
No.
It's a shame.
He picked games that week.
Yeah, see,
10 of them, as a matter of
here's
fact.
the problem, Muse. You two jacklegs thought you were going to pull a fast one on me, so what I did was I got our actual games we're going to pick to Paul, and apparently Theriot didn't turn his in. So I got a 10-0, and Mr. The Riot got an 0-10.
Paul never gave me games.
Oh, that's a shame.
And Paul, and you know what? The thing is, Paul wasn't here either. He didn't give them to Cassie, who filled in for him.
Oh, that's too bad. I'm so sorry to hear that. I'll tell you the same thing I told him last week since you're back. This is a radio-tatorship, not a radiocracy.
You're getting better at that.
You think you're going to pull a fast one on me on my show? You can take your candy ass back to wherever you came from, drinking moonshine and firing guns. It gave you the runs, brother.
I would.
Got news for you on
wasn't
that,
the runs.
Coach.
I would actually like to be back there. It was fantastic.
I do want to talk about that. I do want to talk about your experience.
It was actually a great time.
I think you're going to pull one over on me on my show.
You did get one pulled over.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Paul, let me see that graphic again.
It's on the tape.
Yeah. Who gets to decide the game? Oh, look at that. Scone goes 8-2 last week. How about it? Theriot loses another game at 7-3. Scone and Fuego. 55-30. You took off the 10s. All right. Paul has rectified our records to scratch my 10-0 and your 0-10. You're welcome, by the way. I'm a benevolent dictator, as I could have beheaded you. But how does it feel to know that I'm right on your tail? After I tanked for a month and gave you a lead, now I'm catching you. How's that feel? I'm within 2 games with 4 weeks to play. How's that feel, Mr. The Riot? Nervous?
It's close.
No, not nervous.
Nah. I'm good.
Yeah. No, you ain't.
I'm good.
It's the early part of the season. I was out there taking some shots, taking some chances. Dug myself a hole. I said, you know what? It's time to lock in and win this thing. We were running the 100. I spotted you about 20 yards.
Oh.
That's all I did. But guess what? Here comes Usain Bolt. Mother ducker. How you like him or not? You two clowns think you're going to pull one over on me on my show. Tell you what. You're going to learn.
You're going to learn today.
You're going to learn, son. All right, let's get going here. 10 games. Theriot's got a 2-game lead that ain't going to last much longer. Can you take that down just a smidge? All right. Let's start in the ACC. Miami, undefeated, ranked 4th in the country. They're on the road against Georgia Tech. Mr. Theriot, who do we like there?
I think Miami's going to lose a game. This might be it, but I'm going to pick Miami. They haven't lost yet, and their quarterback's good.
I agree. I'll take Miami also. All right, we'll go over to Oxford. That's where Marty and McGee are there on the Feinbaum show right now. Georgia is at Ole Miss. Who do we like? Georgia at Ole Miss.
Oh, man, oh, man. I don't want to give you another game. I don't want to pick with my heart.
Joe ends at 6.
Give me Ole Miss. I think they're going to win.
Okay, I will take that game from you. Georgia is going to annihilate Ole Miss in this football game. During Lane Kiffin's tenure as the Ole Miss head coach, he has one top 10 win, and it came against Kentucky when they were ranked 7th, and that Kentucky team finished 7-6 on the season. Georgia. Do we want to pick this one?
Who is it?
Michigan, Indiana. All right, let's do it. Michigan at Indiana. Defending champs at the undefeated Hoosiers.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to pick Indiana here.
Hoosiers. They're real. Hoosiers get to 10-0. Iowa. Yes.
What's Indiana ranked?
They are 8th.
Wow.
8th. They're undefeated. They're 9-0. They're getting to the point where they're going to be tested, though. Where they're starting to get into real tests. Weak strength of schedule, but they're undefeated, man. They've been impressive. Iowa State at Kansas. Stinky line of the week, Iowa State. Just a 2.5-point favorite at the Jayhawks.
I'm going to pick Iowa State.
Yeah, I like Iowa State too. Very disappointing. They dropped from the ranks of the unbeatens, losing last week at Texas Tech. Got to go back on the road now, but I do think they bounce back. How about South Carolina at Vanderbilt?
Whoa, that's going to be a good game.
How about it?
That's going to be a good game that South Carolina is going to win.
This is my Field Storm fate. I'm going against Phil Steele here, by the way. Phil Steele agrees with you, like South Carolina. I'm picking Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt is good.
They are good.
People continue to discount them because they're Vanderbilt. I do think South Carolina.
It's legit, though.
Not this year.
They're good.
Vanderbilt is 6-0 against the spread.
They're good.
In
Still
SEC.
Vanderbilt, though.
No, they're good. They're a good team. And people continue to discount them. Now, South Carolina, this is a Field Storm fate. I mean, you have the big win. Your fans rush the field. Now you got to go on the road to Vanderbilt, play at a construction site.
Quarterback's good, too.
Vandy,
Vanderbilt.
lying in wait. On you, dog. Give me them Commodores, dog. All right. Colorado at Texas Tech. Why did you just point at me like that?
Colorado at Texas Tech. Give me Texas Tech.
I am going to roll with Coach Prime here. I think Texas Tech, massive win last week, dropping Iowa State from the ranks of the unbeaten.
Texas Tech's very good. 6-3, 4-2 in the Big 12. But I think Colorado has continued to improve this year. They got the better quarterback. Colorado's got the better coach, the better roster. They're on the road. But I do like Colorado. We'll go head-to-head on this one. Florida State at Notre Dame. I don't know why we're going to pick this one, but I mean, just because the name's on the marquee, I guess.
What is it?
This should we pick that? This is the line is 26. I mean, do we really pick this?
Yeah.
All
sure.
right.
Well, no. What is it?
Florida State.
No, I don't want to pick that one. I don't want to pick that one. That's stupid.
All right. Then let's pick. The other one I had was Army at North Texas.
Army's undefeated, aren't they?
Yes.
Is North Texas any good?
So North Texas is 5-3. They're 2-2 in the American. Army is just a 2.5-point favorite in this game. North Texas has lost to Texas Tech. They lost on the road at Memphis, and they lost to Tulane in a close game. Tulane, remember, is a pretty good team.
Yeah.
So North Texas is live. The record isn't impressive, but they're live.
Give me Army.
I'm sticking with Army as well. I think they'll be undefeated going into the game against Notre Dame. All right, a few more here. Our college football pick'em. Waiting on Bill Belichick to call in, or Nick Saban. That happening? You got our guest picker?
Saban's supposed to be calling.
Yeah, right. All right, Oklahoma at Mizzou.
Give me Missouri.
Oh. Really?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't like Oklahoma.
Well, I don't like them either, but... Okay.
That's how I pick these games.
I'm going Oklahoma. I think Oklahoma seems to have figured out a little bit on offense.
Maybe.
I don't think they're good, but I also think Missouri's dreadful.
Is the quarterback playing for Missouri?
Don't know yet. Chances are he's probably going to give it a go.
Okay.
How effective, Brady Cook, how effective will he be? Don't know. But even when he was in the game against Alabama, he stunk. And Oklahoma's defensive front has been pretty good at times this year. So I do think Oklahoma goes on the road and beats number 24 Missouri. I like Oklahoma to win the game. All right, Holy War, BYU at Utah.
BYU.
Why were you so confident just throwing out BYU like that?
I think BYU is good. I mean, they have a bunch of dudes that are in their 30s.
So does Utah.
Yeah, I don't know. BYU. Let me think about this one for a minute. BYU. Is that better?
Yeah, man.
Go Utah. Because we go head-to-head on a lot of them this week. It'd be fun. It'll be fun for next week.
I mean, this game is in Salt Lake.
I know.
It's the Holy War.
It is.
Like, this feels like the public is going to be on BYU because they're undefeated and ranked 9th and all that stuff. And the Sharps are going to be on Utah at home. Like, Utah at home in this rivalry game, while their record isn't, Utah's 4-4 this year. Like, they've had a very disappointing season. I just can't go against Utah at home in this game.
No, you got to pick them. I would pick them, but I already
Why
picked
didn't
BYU.
You?
Well,
You
I already
pick 'em?
picked BYU.
You pick 'em, but you picked BYU. Interesting. All right, and then lastly, LSU.
Who'd you pick?
Utah. Yes, I'll take Utah. I'll go head-to-head with you. All right, LSU and Bama.
Give me the Tigers. All day.
Yeah, let me think a little bit more about my pick on LSU, Bama. What direction I might go. Maybe I'll have an answer by the end of the show, as if I hadn't been screaming this for 10 months. All right, so we're going head-to-head on Ole Miss, Georgia. We're going head-to-head on South Carolina, Vandy, Texas Tech, Colorado, Missouri, Oklahoma, BYU, Utah. We're going head-to-head on 5 of them.
Yeah, I mean,
we could have a changing of the guard this week.
Or it could be, like almost going with, can I catch him type deal. This is going to be a big week. It's good. That's why you play the game right here. It's weeks like this.
I need that sheet of paper. I do need that, don't I? Y'all go check out Evermore on Instagram. So Evermore, I told y'all. So Evermore has, they're like a national company, right? Like they have a deal with Dak Prescott, Cloth and Nuss, the Olympic volleyball champions. Well, they have an NIL deal with Jalen Milroe. Because why wouldn't you? I mean, you distribute all over the country.
Sure.
Right? So Milroe's a big-time athlete, so they have an NIL deal, and they told me this, Matt. But this is a Louisiana company, right? So, Matt, of course, Jalen's an athlete, so he's going to be in our feed this week. Which, of course, I mean, you're going to promote your athletes and all that stuff, but we got to have some LSU stuff in the feed. Like, can you get us a video or something? It's like, got you. Go check out the Evermore Instagram. Your boy is present. And drink Evermore.
It tastes good.
Don't drink that crappy, crinkly plastic water bottle from Texas.
It really does taste good.
I also like that Evermore has the wide mouth bottles. Do you like that?
Yeah, I can drink it fast.
I like that.
A lot of it goes in my mouth at one time.
All right. We're brought to you by Don Juan Cigar Bar.
It's Evermore water is what it is right here. I'm gonna check it out.
Out of obligation, we'll talk Saints-Falcons next.
AFR.
Get Gordon and get it done. Gordon McKernan, injury attorneys. If you've been injured in an accident, it's not your fault. Do what injured people in our state have done for more than 30 years. Get Gordon and get it done. And also remember on social media, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, go to @GetGordon. I love it. They got so much G-Team content. Kyron Lacey video, Josh Williams video, Emory Jones video, Weston Witt Weeks video. It's all up there on their social media platforms @GetGordon. Super easy. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. Just go @GetGordon. You'll see it all right there. Gordon loves to support the local team. Great supporter of the Tigers, but so many of our colleges and universities in the state of Louisiana, men's and women's sports. Great to be part of the G team. You can learn more at getgordon.com, getgordon.com. You know what to do. Get Gordon. Get it done.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram can get you in a new 2024 Ram 1500 truck for only $32,898. $32,898 for a new Ram 1500 truck. All new Bayou Automotive vehicles come with a complimentary 7-year powertrain warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared towards seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs, even in the case of an after-hours emergency. The light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood Subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar.
What did they play this when LSU came out of the tunnel Saturday?
Bro, the place would go nuts. Why wouldn't Boosie come and perform?
I don't know.
Wouldn't that be good?
Do you know him? I don't know him.
I don't
know him at all.
If Boosie came in and did Set It Off live,
God, that'd be so
in
good.
Tiger Stadium. How you doing?
You see the videos from the Ole Miss game?
Bro.
You realize there hasn't been a home game since Ole Miss?
I had people texting me from all over the country, sending me that video, like friends of mine that I played with, going, what is going on in Baton Rouge? And I'm coming. This is unbelievable. You've got 100 and however many thousand people singing Set It Off.
Okay, so there weren't 100,000 people singing Set It Off.
Word for word.
You had the student section singing Set It Off word for word.
Well, look, I wouldn't have been sitting in
the other 80,000 people going, what are they?
Wouldn't be so surprised.
Honey, what are they doing over there?
If it was a baseball game, I would say, yeah, you're probably right. I was special.
You didn't have 100,000 people singing Set It Off.
50.
15.
No.
Yes.
No, I bet
There's
you it was
roughly
more.
10,000 students.
Dude, I bet you it was more than that. I have to think it was at least 50,000 people singing.
Half the stadium wasn't singing Set It Off.
Yes, they were.
You jackass.
I think they were.
No, they weren't.
They were. Yeah.
I'll give you 15, and that's probably too many.
No.
But having that many people in one confined space singing that song and moving madly looked awesome, especially with the light show and everything.
50,000 screaming.
I'll tell you where 50,000 people do scream in unison. Taylor Swift concerts. They all know every word. They stand, they scream, they dance, everything the whole time. It's piercing. I'm telling you.
For 4 hours.
Bro. She's up there for 3.5. But if you count the opening act, yeah.
When you told me the story about people walking out just feeling exhausted.
Right.
So I had a lady, Kayla, in my office who went with her daughter. She told the exact same story.
In your office?
She's like...
Our office. Bro, come on, it's parish.
In our office.
It's the parish office.
She told the exact same story.
It's
She's
true.
Like, we were exhausted when we walked out of there.
When you walk out of the show, the story I told Ryan is when Eric and I went to Taylor Swift a couple of Fridays ago, and usually when you leave a concert, there's like this emotional high, right? You're just on this high walking out, and people are singing and high five and everything like that. You walk out of Taylor Swift, and it's on the ramps on Poydras trying to get down out of the dome. Everybody's just like compressed because it's just basically one way out, and everybody's shoulder to shoulder, and it's just nobody's saying a word, just shuffling side to side to try to get down there. I mean, I don't know that we said a word walking back to the hotel. I mean, your ass is whipped when you leave that show. I mean, you worked out for 3 hours.
Yeah,
you jumped and danced and sang and fist pumped and everything that they do. Shout out Taylor Swift, great show. Are you just texting people, or are we gonna talk?
We can talk.
I can wait. I tell you what. Me and our audience, we'll wait while you text.
No,
we're good. No, you do what you gotta do. Clearly,
I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm ready.
We're brought to you by Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. LMFJ.com. LMFJ.com. Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. Gentleman Thriller with a gift in the red box from Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. Hey, this Christmas, if you're starting to think ahead, you can always pop into Lee Michaels. Yes, of course, diamond engagement rings, but also watches, pendants, tennis bracelets, earrings. Thrill her with a gift from Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. 9 locations in all: Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Lafayette, Shreveport, and online at lmfj.com. lmfj.com for Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. All All right, Saints and Falcons Sunday in the Dome. It's bizarre that. Okay.
It's bizarre.
Do we?
No, we're good.
Okay. It's bizarre that it's Saints-Falcons week, and we've mentioned nary a word about this game. What do you think psychologically it'll be like for the team after coming into this game? We always talk about the interim bump when you get an interim coach. Can you fire a coach, get an interim? That's a real thing.
I mean, it is a thing.
It re-energizes the locker room. This team had clearly given up on Dennis Allen. Some of them, Alvin Kamara effectively said it this week, glowing about Darren Rizzi as someone they respect. I mean, it's a real thing.
Yeah.
What do you expect?
Well, why don't we ask somebody that's played in this game?
Okay, let's ask someone. We got work done on the line?
No.
Oh, we got Bobby Hebert?
No.
He's played for both teams.
No.
Someone who's going to play on Sunday? David Onyemata? Play for both teams?
No. This is he's actually participated in this game, understands the rivalry.
Oh, okay.
Also played in the LSU-Bama rivalry. Big Roo.
What's up, fellas?
Okay.
Big Roo.
We've got
big game this Sunday.
We've got Falcons Ring of Honor member Todd McClure on the phone here.
Go Falcons. Go Birds.
I'd rather talk to you about LSU-Alabama.
We can do that, man.
Or you know what else we could do? Or you know what else we could do? We could talk about the Falcons blowing a 28-3 lead in the Super Bowl.
Look, I'm gonna give y'all that because that's all you got at this point.
You're right, and I'll take it. I'll take it. You know what else we got? Hey, Big Roo, you know what else we got at this point?
What's that?
A Lombardi Trophy.
There you go. Go ahead. What else you got? That's the only two.
Not.
Ring.
Oh, that's it? That's all we got?
Yeah.
That's it? Is a Lombardi Trophy?
Yeah,
Okay.
That's it.
I'll take it.
So.
I'll take it. But anyway, this is Todd McClure, LSU great, Falcons Ring of Honor member. Hey, what do you think about the Saints firing Dennis Allen, man? What do you think that means for Sunday?
You know, I've seen it, been on both ends of it. I know when I was playing, Coach Dan Reeves got fired and Wade Phillips came in, and he just relaxed everything. Everybody just felt like there was a weight off of their shoulders. And he came in, he was like, look, we're going to have beer in the dining room Saturday night before the game. Look, and that room erupted, man.
That's
and,
so good.
You know, guys, just relax. You know, there's a big weight on your shoulders. And I want to say we went out and won that game. But then after that, you know, we still had the same dudes on the field that we had before the head coach got fired. Yeah. So it's been a tough year for y'all, man. I look forward to talking trash with Saints fans all year, and y'all have disappeared. So
man.
That's all I look forward to in life.
Bro,
you know,
that's
football season.
That can't be all you look forward to in life.
Well, it's on the list. It's up there.
Dude, I don't blame you. It's been brutal. I mean, it's just a sign of good things. But you were also on the team when Bobby Petrino pieced out in the middle of the night, weren't you?
Yes, absolutely.
So what was that like that next week?
That's when Michael Vick was in all of his trouble. I think we had maybe 4 wins that season. But it was the same thing. Everybody was tired of him. They were ready for him to go. And when he left, it was like a weight off everybody's shoulders. But we still, we had Joey Harrington at quarterback, Byron Leftwich, and it was just a bad situation.
Who? You know? I forgot about Joey Harrington.
Yes, it was
God
bad.
Bless. Hey, so look, Todd, we're all very, I think, here realistic about what the Saints are this year. So, candidly, if the Saints keep losing, it ain't gonna hurt my feelings, bro. I'm ready to see what the new generation of this organization is going to look like. But do you think we'll see a competitive game where Atlanta has really hit their stride? Kirk Cousins looks healthy, and that offense looks awesome, and the Saints just are a giant mess.
Matt, you know the history of this rivalry game. It doesn't matter if a team's having success one year and the other team's down. This game is always close, and I'm scared to death, because we have been playing well. Don't want to come out of this game with any injuries, but it's going to be. The spread's 3.5. Yeah. It's going to be a close game, And I think is Taysom back? If Taysom's back, then, he's a huge X factor. What are you going to do with him? Is there a bigger package with him in the game? I think it's going to be close. So I'd rather it not be, but I believe it will be.
The first game, that game really changed. You remember that Taysom played in the first half, and the Saints offensively looked really good. Taysom got injured, went out, and the Saints did nothing in the second half. And, of course, that was the game where Atlanta won despite not scoring an offensive touchdown.
No, absolutely. And you heard Raheem Morris after that game, and they asked him what changed, and he mentioned that. He was like, Taysom Hill got hurt. That's what changed in this game because y'all definitely had our number. And, he's one of a kind. He's a unicorn that I don't know if we've ever seen anybody quite like him, and I respect the way the guy plays the game.
You think, though, when you're that reliant on a gadget player, like when that guy gets hurt and leaves the field, it's not like your quarterback got hurt.
Right.
Like, a gadget player gets hurt and you fundamentally change on offense like that. That signals.
No.
Look, I'm not you, man. You're in the friggin' Ring of Honor for this team, but like that feels like you have a lot of weight on one guy that's not your quarterback, and I don't feel like the way it's supposed to be.
No, I'm with you. And I think not the biggest thing. Y'all had a lot of issues, but it's the injuries you had up front, and then what y'all did have early was your deep threat, and then your deep threat gets hurt, and Taysom Hill gets. It's like the perfect storm with injuries for you guys, and y'all knew going into this season y'all weren't going to be the best team, or at least thought that with your roster, and then you add those injuries, and it's just not a good deal, man.
All right, let's talk about something way better.
Yeah, I got a question.
Go ahead.
We're talking about the coach for the Saints now, Todd. My vote is Coach Sid Edwards. Now, if he ends up winning the mayor race, he's going to have to make a decision. So I kind of want to get your thoughts on that. If Mayor Sid should leave politics and go ahead and coach or not.
That'd be great as long as Rusty Price isn't available to take that spot.
Defensive coordinator is what I was thinking. We're going to lose 98% of our audience right now on that. Rusty Price was the longtime head football coach at Broadmoor High School where Theriot attended. That's who they are referring to there. So shout out to Rusty Price, by the way.
So, Matt, ideally right now, who would you like to see as the head coach of the Saints next year?
Man, if I get my pick, it's Ben Johnson. But Todd, he's going to have options, and the Saints aren't going to be his best option. So I believe firmly in when you have something that doesn't work, you do the opposite. So you had a retread defensive-minded coach. I want a young offensive-minded coach. One of those, the young offensive from the Shanahan-McVay tree. Find me somebody in that ilk that can come in and give them their opportunity. See what you do.
I think that'll be great, and I think that's where y'all going to have to go because, everybody knows it's going to be a rebuilding process. So I don't think an established guy or a guy that's going to get that big job is going to be willing to come in and know that the next 2-3 years may be a struggle. So you might get, like you said, a young offensive mind that'll come in and stick with it and win a few games and get it going for y'all again.
Who do you think wins on Sunday?
I think the Falcons win it. I really do. Their running game has been so good. Kirk Cousins is unbelievable. He's a robot back there, with his progressions. And offensive line, I was worried when our starting center got hurt and our backup came in. He struggled a little bit early, but if you look right now, you couldn't tell that the starting center was out. So that's been a big plus with us. And we're getting Pitts involved. He's been a guy that's been missing for 3 years, and then London, and then our big play threat that came from Chicago is just Mooney. Has just been unbelievable. Him and Kurt are on the same page.
Imagine that. Center said that losing the center was the key there.
He said something about tits. He said something about tits.
He said Pitts.
No, he said tits.
Stop it. He said Pitts.
No.
Kyle Pitts is what he said.
Something about tits. I don't know what it was.
We got to bounce. Big Roo, it's always great to talk, man. Hope you and the fam are doing great. We'll see you soon, bud.
All right, guys.
Thanks, Todd.
Man. That's Todd McClure. Great dude. Love Todd. Big Roo. Hate that he's a Falcon, but I love him like 363 days out of the year.
Mm-hmm.
It's 2 days when I don't love him. It's AFR.
AFR.
Brought to you by Action Industries, actionindinc.com. That's Action Industries Incorporated, actionindinc.com. Action Industries been servicing the petrochemical refinery markets in the greater Baton Rouge area since 1982.
Wow.
42 years. They got some massive industrial contractors.
They do.
And they're great companies.
Mm-hmm.
Do these mega projects.
Need them.
Mm-hmm. That's not Action Industries. And it's one of the things that's their benefit. Like, they know what they are. You got a 100-man job you need, you are their top priority. You get all their best people. You go hire one of these mega, contractors for a 100-person job, that's not their priority.
Probably not. Mm-mm.
So maybe you do have one of those mega projects going on. Remember, Action can help supplement your workforce. Worth reaching out to them there. It's Action Industries, proud partner of LSU Athletics.
The only thing scary about the deals at Bayou Ford is if you miss out on them, like $15,000 off F-150. Bayou Ford has $15,000 off Ford F-150. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a complimentary 7-year powertrain warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
The best.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar.
All right, for the win, Alamo. A 25-yarder. Alabama will be coming hard for this one. Snap, place, kick in the air. LSU wins. I can tell you for sure now, LSU wins.
Jim Hawthorne on the call. The game of the century, 2011. LSU beats Alabama 9-6 in overtime. On one of the great moments, of course, in the history of this LSU-Alabama rivalry. One that after that game, Alabama would win 8 straight until Clyde Edwards-Helaire was dunking on refs and Joe Burrow went off for like 500 yards in Tuscaloosa. And LSU emphatically stated their case as the best team in college football history as that season went through November in the national championship. It'll be LSU and Alabama Saturday night in Tiger Stadium. There's no ambiguity here for me. I'm picking LSU to win this game. I've said it since the summer. I've said it since Nick Saban left Alabama. You do not get to lose the greatest coach ever and roughly 40 players off your roster. NFL draft, graduation, transfer portal. You don't get to lose all of that and not miss a beat. I was right. Regardless of the outcome on Saturday in Tiger Stadium, I was right. Nick Saban's the coach at Alabama. They ain't losing to Vanderbilt. Nick Saban's the coach at Alabama. They ain't committing 15 penalties at Tennessee and pissing away that game. Nick Saban's the coach at Alabama. You got signs around the building about tucking in your shirt and doing the little things right. That's the culture Nick Saban built there for 17 years. And the second he was gone, and in comes the substitute teacher, we've all been in that dynamic before at some point in life. Told y'all I had this conversation with my buddy Ryan Fowler in Tuscaloosa back at SEC Media Days. And he talked about how much just lighter people moved around the building, how much easier it was for people in Tuscaloosa around Alabama football. The media, Kalen DeBoer was so much more engaging. And I said, oh, that's your problem. Because the reason that program is what it was because Nick Saban had that much attention to detail. This is a man who won the national championship and in the post-game press conference was pissed off because he was behind in recruiting because he had to play that game. Not even in the post-game, not even taking a moment to enjoy it. You don't recreate that in anyone ever. He is the greatest coach in the history of this game. Unmatched, not debatable. And he is not there. The reason Alabama is still where they are is because of the brand. In perception. Because if I took that logo off and I said, hey, let's tell you about a team. Week 2 on their home field, they're playing South Florida. They're in a 1-score game with 5 minutes to go. This is a team that blew a 28-point lead at home to Georgia. This is a team that lost at Vanderbilt, gave up 40 points at Vanderbilt. And then a week later at home, stumble and bumble and fumble their way to against South Carolina. They win by 2, but you should have seen the comedy of errors at the end of the first half, the gross clock mismanagement by the head coach. This is a team that lost at Tennessee where they committed 15 penalties. If I told you that's the team we're talking about, are you sitting here worried about LSU playing that team at 6:30 p.m. in Tiger Stadium?
No.
Don't genuflect to the brand. Understand what the dudes wearing that crimson uniform are when they come into Tiger Stadium on Saturday. Brian Kelly isn't looking across the field at Nick Saban. Brian Kelly's looking across the field at Kalen DeBoer, who, by the way, has played 2 road conference games this year. You know what their record is in those 2 road conference games this year? They're 0-2. Vandy, Tennessee. Oh, by the way, Brian Kelly, since he's been at LSU, 13-0 in night games in Tiger Stadium. Brian Kelly, go back to his time at Notre Dame, 16-2 coming off the bye, including 2 years ago in Baton Rouge, coming off the bye and beating Alabama with Nick Saban and with Bryce Young at quarterback. I know LSU's a flawed football team, y'all. I ain't lost on me. I understand the inability at times to run the football. You don't have Garrett Dellinger. That stings. The collapse in the second half against Texas A&M. LSU's a flawed team. They're also a team that from week 1 to right now has continued to improve, especially on the defensive side of the ball under Blake Baker. That's inarguable. They were suffocating Texas A&M with Connor Wegman. They made a sudden change, put in Marcel Reed, and LSU didn't adjust. Point in the win column for Mike Elko. That's a team that saw a running quarterback in Taylor Green and Jaquindon Jackson up in Arkansas, held him to 38 rushing yards. I mean, this is an Alabama defensive front that's coming in, 68th in the country in rush defense. This ain't Alabama. Dallas Turner ain't on that team. Kool-Aid McKinstry ain't on that team. Caleb Downs ain't on that team. Trey Amos plays for Ole Miss now. I mean, they got good players, and they're a good football team. I'm not saying blatantly disrespect them. I'm not saying LSU's going to roll and it's a walk in the park. But what I'm telling you is, for 17 years, damn it, you had to play your frigging best to have a chance to beat that team. And a lot of times LSU did play way over their skis. I saw bad LSU. 2014 was a bad LSU football team. And they had Alabama dead to rights. A stupid 15-yard penalty, and they let Blake Sims go the length of the field and beat him in overtime. 2012 Alabama was a great team, and LSU was struggling. And LSU had them beat until the Yeldon play. Yeah, there were moments, but that's the point, man. That was the Nick Saban factor. Even when you had him, you didn't really feel like you had him because of him. The psychology of this is completely different. I get it. I just hope the 85 dudes wearing purple and gold in Tiger Stadium on Saturday night get it too. Because for everything that Alabama has kept you from over the last almost 2 decades, this is your opportunity now where they have been pulled back to the pack. They ain't no different. Vanderbilt curb stomped them, controlled the line of scrimmage. Tennessee beat them when Nico Iamaleava must have missed 5 open touchdown passes in that game. You think Garrett Nussmeier and Kyron Lacey and Chris Hilton and Aaron Anderson and Xavion Thomas and Mason Taylor and Caden Durham? Mason Taylor! You think they're going to miss all them players? You think they're going to miss those open receivers?
Nope.
You think they're going to go struggle on Saturday night in Tiger Stadium with 102,000 people going bat bleep crazy?
Nope.
Because they know they got blood in the water and they got a chance to beat this team and go continue on your chance to win a national championship? I'm not predicting LSU to win a national championship, but I'll tell you what I sure as hell am predicting. I'm predicting LSU to beat Alabama Saturday night in Tiger Stadium. Because LSU's at home in a night game, huge spot advantage. Brian Kelly's been great off a bye. He's been great at night in Tiger Stadium. You got the better coach. You got the better quarterback. You're at home. You better go win this damn game. Yeah. I got LSU 34-27. Give me LSU to win this game, and I hope it ain't even that close. Because to be perfectly honest with you, it shouldn't be. Grow a pair and figure out how to not let Jalen Milroe run for $150. You're going to cruise in this game because you're a better football team than they are. You're at home, and you got the better coaching staff as well to go prove it. You got a score?
No, but I like it when you pick the Tigers.
It's AFR.
After further review.
Brought to you by River City's 1 Hour Air, where they're always on time or you don't pay a dime. 752-0001, 752-0001, 752-0001, or 1hourbr.com. Spell it out, O-N-E, 1hourbr.com. Hey, man, remember. Preseason heater safety check. It's 78 degrees right now. I know. We ain't going to get a cold weather game at all, are we?
I don't think so.
I know. But cold weather's going to come. Before it does, make sure that you've had your heater checked. It's River City's 1 Hour Air. 752-0001, 752-0001, or 1hourbr.com. Spell it out, O-N-E, 1hourbr.com. They'll come to your house. They'll check your heater. They'll make sure it's efficient, save you money, extend the life of your unit. More importantly, make sure it's safe to run to protect your home and your family. It's River City's 1 Hour Air. 752-0001.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram can get you in a new 2024 Ram 1500 truck for only $32,898. $32,898 for a new Ram 1500 truck. All new Bayou Automotive vehicles come with a complimentary 7-year powertrain warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
It's no secret. The best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, located in downtown Baton Rouge.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar.
Daniels for the win. Caught. It's gone. LSU does it. Mason Taylor.
Ah, yes. The Mason Taylor drop. All right, down the stretch, we come final segment here on a Friday edition of AFR, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar. T-Bob and I will be, ask Ryan. Do we call him Timu Mike or Great Value Mike, since he's a fake? The Tiger. Omar, the Tiger.
Oh. Timu, I like that.
Alan said, Matt, you're so wrong. The South End Zone was singing Set It Off. The whole place was singing. I was shocked. Yeah, there's no way 100,000 people are singing Set It Off.
50,000.
There's no way 50,000. Go Tiger.
After further review.
As we get on down the road, remind you about First South Farm Credit. Thinking of buying land?
Always.
You know who you should call. Your first call should be to First South Farm Credit. So you could start at the website. You get the phone number at the website, branch nearest you.
First South Farm Credit.
FirstSouthLand.com. That's the website. Go to FirstSouthLand.com. First in agriculture. Been doing that for more than 100 years. Timberland is an investment property.
Or if you just want to cut some timber.
Ask your CPA about the tax benefits. And then call First South Farm Credit.
If you want some hunting property.
Your first call should be to First South Farm Credit. Want to build your family's dream home? Need some acreage?
Like a compound.
Your first call should be to First South Farm Credit. Log on, FirstSouthLand.com.
Join us at Pro Dreams in Mandeville for our special event, A Day of Champions. Meet LSU National Championship winning head coaches Jay Johnson, Skip Burtman, and Paul Maneri. Don't miss your chance to purchase authentic sports memorabilia, autographed by the champions themselves. It's the perfect opportunity to celebrate LSU baseball and take home a piece of history. Visit pro-dreams.com to get your tickets. See you there.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood Subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering,